your call, the boat, captained by Smiley,
Still thinking of the name.
headed across the Aukid Sea to arrive at Crescent. And when you did, you arrived at a town called Rutin. After a month being cooped up on a boat, being forced to learn a language, and with some various things happening on the boat, you were rather appreciative of a chance to get back on dry land and stretch your legs. Radovan and Jaco told you that there was going to be a party, a welcoming party, for you and the rest of the people on the boat this evening. But until then, Machida Tanaka, who introduced himself as Sergeant, began showing you around Rutin. You were shown to your personal rooms, where it looks like you have an entire floor of the Imperial Palace all to yourselves. You then explored out into Rutin proper and went on a shopping bonanza, which I don't think we actually got to get all the way through. I think people are still doing some shopping. So it is, the sun is starting to set, but you have a few more hours until the party, we'll say, so you have some time to do some stuff, if you so choose.
Are all these dinguses still hanging out at the blacksmith?
Yes, I just bought a pistol.
I went back and bought an Oni mask.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it does. It just looks really cool.
Guess
You know.
I would make my way to the blacksmith as well.
Okay. You wander into the blacksmith. Let's see, anybody hanging out in here other than her?
Smiley.
Smiley's here. So you run into Smiley. It's just the apprentice that's in the front of the store now. The percussive clang of a blacksmith's hammer rings from the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore the apprentice and just start making my way towards the blacksmith.
Ma'am, you can't go back there.
Ignore.
And he just stops talking. You wander into the back, where you see this broad-shouldered man hammering away at a piece of metal on an anvil. He hits his hammer a few more times upon the metal, notices your presence, and grunts. Rude.
I let my ears spring up out of my head.
That seems to get his attention.
And then I heft my sack off my shoulders and I throw it on the floor at him.
He looks at you and raises his eyebrows. Quite a power move you have there. You had no idea how I would have responded.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Call for help?
No.
Okay.
He looks down at the sack that you've thrown at his feet. What's this?
This is the weapon of a dear friend that was busted up pretty badly. And I don't know if you're able to do something, and I'm quite a ways off from being able to do something about it myself. I don't want it to be restored, I guess. It's probably impossible, but is there anything you can do with these pieces?
Masamune picks up the shattered pieces of the pursuer's greatsword and takes one rough, calloused finger and starts tracing over some of the lines in it. After
I would give a little show describing how it could store the power of his blows in it and then be released at the wielder's choosing.
Yes, I see that now. It's a rather interesting mod. Huh. Whoever had this last must have been on some very interesting adventures. I mean, prior to your friend, that is. Huh. He turns a piece back and forth in his hands. And then you see him start moving the pieces around with a purpose. Like he's putting a puzzle back together.
I'm gonna find a place to sit, kick up, and watch him.
Tell me, is your friend trained with axes?
I think anything he can hold in his hands and hit something else with is something he's trained in.
Man after my own heart. Well, the glyphs needed for this modification, at least on a sword, those are too fractured. But I could reforge this into an axe and retain some of the old power. There's enough titanite infused into it that it should be able to hold together.
I mean, I may have had an idea.
I am very interested in your ideas, little Kitsune.
I was thinking something along the lines of Nodachi. Something that'll give him a little bit of the respect that he probably deserves while wandering these lands. They see him with an axe, they might just see some sort of brigand or sellsword.
And right you are about that. As many problems as the shogunate has, military tradition is not one of them. Nodachi. You'll have to practice with it a bit. Very different from your Western greatswords. But yes, I could see how I could reforge this.
Well, I think you should. And in return, I will bless your entire smithy.
You wouldn't happen to have a ember sitting around, would you?
That
A
seems
Raijin
hardly
ember?
the responsibility of anyone other than a smith.
No, you're right. A kitsune's blessings in exchange for a chance to work on an exotic weapon. It seems like I went out here.
Well, I guess you do.
Very well. I shall forge this into an odachi for your friend. Truth be told, I can barely contain myself. I'll get started right away. Should be done in the morning.
Morning. I guess your reputation does precede you. I will stay here over the night and continue to do my ritual blessings unless I'm going to be needed somewhere else. But I'm sure they'll probably be better off without me.
Very well. Though do not let my apprentice see your ears. He is young.
Do you
Might
need
do
him for
something
anything?
Koji. Yeah, boss.
I
Take
hide
off-
my ear.
Take off early tonight. Go to the Imperial party. You've earned it. Really? Well. Okay then, thank you, sir. Masamune grunts. And the apprentice kinda gathers his stuff up and leaves. Flips the sign on the door from open to closed, because I guess that's the thing that they do. and motions to Smiley. You can stay as long as the master's here, but I'm out of here.
Do you have a restroom? An outhouse?
He lowers his voice. He does point out the back, and he lowers his voice. But it's the same one the master uses. Have you seen how big he is?
I'll be quick.
All right.
Smiley will head to the back.
You wander in, and Naomi's sitting with Masamune.
Don't mind me. Nature calls.
I never do.
I think it's going to be very interesting having you all in our humble town. Masamune's concentration shifts completely to the shattered pieces of metal as he begins formulating his approach to reforging it.
I'm looking for bacon. Just current
Looking
events
for
have led me to crave a little bacon, so I'm just looking for some pork. Get a hog, maybe a whole hog.
Alright.
Z and Korgath running from giant boars that have suddenly intruded upon the game.
Oh god.
No less than 5,000 are trailing behind them, chasing after them.
I'm not running from the masses. I'm not
Okay.
gonna fight anything in over a month. You think I'm gonna run from some pigs?
I mean, if there's a lot of them in the big, maybe.
Yeah.
So you keep a, so you're looking out for bacon.
Bacon and ale. Try this. See what kind of alcohol they've got over here.
Alright. So you find a humble-looking little restaurant in the Merchant Square. Looks like a lot of them have closed early in preparation for the Imperial party that's going to happen. But you find a humble little one. It's called Nori's.
Man, as a business owner myself, they are losing a lot of clientele closing early on a sunny day like today. Just saying. What's this place called? Nori's?
Nori's, Nori''S.
Yeah, let's go in there. Let me find my...
So, your senses are filled with the smell of stir-fried meat and noodles. Egg in the air. Not very busy tonight. Got a couple people up at the bar drinking a clear liquid you don't quite recognize. The back is all hustle and bustle, and the lady at the front, not looking up from what she's doing, blurts out a greeting in Crescient. Hello, welcome to Nori's.
Shit, what's it? Oh, I'll reply back.
Okay.
Took me a minute.
But upon hearing your Crescient, she looks up, and
It's
her eyes,
amazed.
yeah, her eyes widen. She calls to the back. Chef, the Westerners, the foreigners, they're here.
Rude.
Hurtful.
But she says that, and then immediately kind of comes up and has like a really friendly look upon her face, and gives the most gracious bow. Forgive me. Was not expecting for the guests to be here tonight. I would have figured you would eat your fill at the party tonight.
It's second lunchtime, really.
I'm not familiar with the customs out west. Well, if it's second lunchtime, you've come to the right place. We have noodles with seared beef. We have our artesian crafted sashimi, and we just got a fresh shipment in of Junmei sake.
What? Sashimi?
Yes. So fish, but prepared. All the tastiest bits of the fish served directly to you.
Is my red friend with us right now? Are you with me? Z? Or am I here by myself?
I mean, it could be if you want.
No, man,
I was just gonna have him wander around.
Well, I just wandered in here to get some food.
Yeah, Z can be with you.
You ever made any of that sake?
Sake? No, I've never heard of it.
Well, I guess we better try it.
Yeah, I'm always down for try the local booze.
And some of that seared beef.
Right away.
Oh,
She gives both of you a seat up at the bar, and then asks, "Would you like nigori, or would you like clear? Would you like it cold or hot?"
It's a lot of
I
questions
got-
about alcohol.
I heard. Okay, Korgath. I'm still kind of running through stuff. Did they just say
Hot?
ask if we want it hot or cold?
Yeah, have you ever? I've never had hot alcohol before.
I've also never had a hot alcohol. Hot too?
What's the best? What do you recommend?
Oh, my recommendation. The Aramid River Nigori. It's made from the purest of Aramid River water, with finely grained rice that we don't filter out, and gives it that sweet touch.
Hot or cold?
I recommend cold.
Yeah, whenever. Yeah, sure.
When in Crescent, do as Crescients do.
I guess. Yeah.
All right. It's not long before you realize that you kind of have the attention of everybody else at the bar. You can pick up on the general sentiment of what they're saying, but it's nothing negative. It's more just like distant admiration.
Like, oh, look at the Westerners are wearing. Oh, so fashionable. Is that what all the Westerners wear?
Yeah, like that.
My sleeveless Hawaiian shirt.
And Z with his swabby gear still on, because he hasn't changed clothes in a month.
Oh, I bet that's why they're looking at us. We stink.
Fresh off the boat.
Oh, that's right.
No, I'm sure Jacko prestidigitated our clothes clean at some point. Probably when our odor started like arriving a few minutes before we did. You know, gained sentience.
We haven't even done anything yet. They're looking at us and talking about us.
Yeah, I can only make out like a third of what they're saying. It doesn't sound too bad though. Mostly like I'm getting a lot of oohs and a few
You do notice a group of 3 girls kind of seated in the corner, and they're very giggly about you specifically, Z.
Oh.
gives a wink.
Oh yeah, Z, roll a D100 for me.
Boy.
You're going to jail our first day here.
Let's find out. Come on, 100.
No, do that natural one.
16.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
16.
Oh no, here we go.
All right. So.
They weren't actually looking at me, they were looking at Korkath.
So, the 3 girls, they're still kind of giggling in your general direction. Everybody's really friendly, and eventually your seared steak and noodles get served along with the nigori. This this particular sake is very cloudy and white, unlike the clear one that you saw other people drinking.
Mm.
Huh.
You pick up on what
You got-
the elderly man next to you on the bar is saying. He says, "Ah, they have money too. Look at that. Aramid Nigori."
Oh shit. Think we can get a tab
In
to the
in
room?
in English, I'm gonna in common, I'm gonna speak to Korgath. Uh-oh. I heard look money from the guy next to me. We didn't check how much this was, did we?
I mean, I thought we had like a tab.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It can't be that much. I mean, it's booze.
I mean, it can't be more than a couple hundred gold, I would think at most.
A couple of hundred?
I'm alright. I haven't spent any money on anything since we got here.
This is what I get for buying. This is what I get for making alcohol all my life. I can't understand why people would pay for it 99% of the time.
Second lunch is on me. Don't worry about it.
Still,
Shrug.
she gives you the bottle of the cloudy white sake and 2 little glasses to drink it out of.
Mm.
Huh.
Hmm.
Kind of looks like milk, but like, or cloudy apple juice maybe. I don't know. It's like milk watered down.
No, it looks like something else, but nope. Here, after you take the first drink, you make alcohol.
Shrug. He'll take it with one hand and pour it carefully into the cup.
Am I like holding this cup with like like a thumb and an index finger, and that's it?
Yeah, and it's kind of like hard to even manage that. It's just this tiny little thing.
Ma'am?
Right. Saucer. Yes. She finds a saucer.
You don't have any like mugs?
No mugs.
Is this the? I guess this is the way to drink it. You either drink it in tiny cups or flat discs.
You are.
This is a weird country. I'm saying this in common, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, them girls were looking at you. Giggling.
So, Alright, well,
Go say hi to them.
I mean, I don't.
Are you scared?
I mean, my language, my ability to understand is tenuous at best. Maybe when I've got hello and goodbye down a bit better.
Just go like
Maybe.
make a certain thing like really big, and that'd be all you need to do.
Well, humans don't usually have tails, right? So I don't think I can really make my tail that big.
I wasn't talking about your tail.
Horns? Because I also don't think humans have horns.
Easy on the noodles, they're full of carbs.
It looks done. But I love carbs. Oh, these noodles do smell good though. I hope it goes well with the sake.
It sure does.
Does
First
he
couple
ever?
drinks, I'm just gonna close my eyes while I drink it, just so I don't have to think about what it looks like.
It is sweet, sweet, sweet. It is like a dessert in your mouth. This is better than anything that Mr. Puddlefoot ever gave you.
Oh, this shit's gonna be
Oh.
expensive.
But by the way, now that I think about it, so Korgath, how much did you destroy these supplies on the ship? That was taken away from him, and you did.
I mean,
you
no,
and this-
Naomi knocked them all overboard with an Eldritch
Wait.
Blast, except for one keg I hung on to.
Oh, no, I had other supplies downstairs. But you guys just moved it all to Smiley's quarters. I'll let you decide how much you destroyed. But
Not
Z's
much.
gonna. Z will take a
Raoul
moment to
hid
appreciate.
one of the barrels in his cabinet.
He took the blood wine.
Yes, he did.
I'd say it's probably about half gone.
Oh.
So, while you guys are eating and drinking, though, you are approached by a mysterious stranger.
Oh no. Who's joining the campaign?
But, back at the smithy, Masamune has worked out his strategy for reforging the sword. He stands over his forge and makes a scowling face. No Raijin Ember, but... Little Kitsune, do you feel like helping me?
I'm currently stuffing my face. Various things I've stolen from the palace while you're there. I mean, I've already blessed your shop. What do you need me to do?
I just need a Kujikuri rune on the forge.
Coochie coochie rune.
I'll do
Hoochie
that.
coochie rune.
Then I'll make a special glyph. But after that, I'm taking a nap.
I'm gonna need 2 glyphs. I'm gonna need Kamiya and Demetria.
What's happening?
Oh, you're still here. Hi.
Hi.
Nothing.
Oh,
Just doing something nice.
should I watch that? Do you?
I mean, I don't care. Do whatever you want. You want to see one of the greatest swordsmiths to ever live make something that no one else has ever seen before?
Sure.
Then take a seat. And I offer him some of my biscuits.
Ooh.
So I'll proceed to help Masamune with all the things that he needs. But while he's getting ready to work, I think I will kind of hold an action here with myself and think about making another sigil despite his instructions.
Masamune seems to be in a very detached state. It seems like you have brought about some kind of fixation within the man. So the moment the forge gains the Kujikuri sigil, he immediately thrusts all the shattered pieces into it and begins getting them hot. Yes, the Kujikuri will allow the pursuer's modification to retain its power through the heating process. With Gematria and Kamiya on the anvil, we can restore the small traces that were lost when this weapon was shattered. I just need to not drop it. And he pulls all the pieces out in a swift motion all at once. And all of them stay within his tongs.
Give him a little
Wow.
clap. And with an amused cadence, I'd like to state that, I don't think that we should restore it to the way it was necessarily with its powers, because, then it's just him using something that someone else made for themselves. It's not really his, you know what I mean?
Well, I can alter it somewhat, but once these modifications are forged into a weapon, it's extremely difficult to move them completely. What did you have in mind?
I don't know. I'm thinking. Something like a little bit of a gift from me to him. Give me a bit to think about it while you work on it.
Very well. By the way, this kind of modification is beyond the craftsmanship of even a Raijin Ember. if you guys do get around to bringing me one, I can make modifications for the rest of you, but something like this, that's beyond even that Ember.
Well, don't mess it up then, right?
I would not. I have not had a chance to work on something interesting in 2 years. He pushes a bunch of unfinished rifles off of his workstation.
Making guns?
Like I said, I've been doing nothing but making guns for the Shogunate ever since they decided to have their little uprising.
Ooh.
But in my fortune this morning, I was told that my life would become interesting again. At least that's how I interpreted it. And then what happens but a kitsune and a western pirate stroll into my shop.
Sailor. Absolutely sailor.
Yes, of course.
Well, what are you doing?
Now,
Yeah.
I am reforging a very special blade with a kind of orichalcum modification that I had never seen before. Wherever it was from, it was either very old or from somewhere very far away.
Neat.
The young kitsune here is helping me with some ancient glyphs that nobody should know. He looks at you seriously, Mr. Smiley. That nobody should know that I know.
I can barely write. Not a problem.
Yes. Just don't tell him that Masamune is tired of making guns. They don't like it when I say that.
Are they threatening you, or are you just...
Oh, I was a blacksmith under Emperor Asuka. Masamune seems to get a wistful look in his eyes as he begins to hammer out the sword into a curved Nodachi shape. I was a blacksmith under the Asuka dynasty for all of my adult life. Emperor Asuka recognized my talent. He let me work on the more elite equipment, the more interesting equipment, the kind of thing that takes training and willpower, sort of a fusion of magic and metal, as it were. Of course, Emperor Asuka went off the deep end, as everybody here will tell you. The Shogunate started planning their little rebellion, and Tanaka himself comes knocking on my door. Either I side with the Shogunate, help engineer their guns and their weaponry to overthrow Asuka, or they kill my son.
That's... What?
Yeah, that's the Shogunate for you. They will keep the peace by any means necessary.
Do they have your son?
They had him until they won. And at the very least, they were good to their word. They returned him to me. But with the activity from Aoi. Again, I see the writing on the wall. I sent my son back out west, training with a smithy I know down in the city. What do you call it? Portishead.
Ah,
At the very least, I could keep him safe. And, you might want to pay attention the next time anybody around town shows any dissent to the shogunate. See what happens to them.
I will.
I figure with a kitsune and a sailor like
Yar.
yourself here, I can speak a little more freely. Besides, you've got me in one of my moods.
Ral, who's been just looking at the different weapons shown in the black, pokes his head in. I hope you don't mind that I've overheard.
Another one from out west? How could you know the intricate political details of a nation you've never been to?
I don't, but I do know a lot about captivity.
You have that look about you.
Well, Ral holds up his knuckle. This wasn't exactly done by choice.
I had figured. Very interesting, whatever it is they did to you.
You don't even know the half of it.
Well, suffice it to say, he holds up his hammer and wags it at you like a displeased father. If you speak out to any degree against the shogunate, you can expect your warm welcome to roll up under your feet and wither away. They've a vested interest in making it appear as though everything is peaceful and okay over here on this side of the Aachen. But how could that possibly be true when a war only finished 2 months ago? You might hear a lot about loyalists, those who were loyal to Asuka. You might hear a lot about Aoi, the princess. Shogunate's gonna tell you she's dead. Whether you believe them, well, that's up to you. I've been stuck here. He holds his hand over the hot pieces of metal and states bluntly, 134.6 Celsius, perfect. And then he begins hammering. It seems like his moment of candidness is over.
Well, while this man works, I believe I still have some more shopping to do before we going to go to this party.
Imperial party. Well, I hope you have fun.
I've never been one for crowds. Would you like me to join me towards the alchemy shop, Mr. Smiley?
Yar. I'll get up on my way.
Kitsune, I need you here still.
Well, I'm not going anywhere till you finish some.
He begins hammering away, barking out very unintelligible instructions to Naomi as you head out to the alchemy shop that you saw Smiley and Ral. You go up to the door. You see a humble sign atop the door stating Puke Puke's Alchemy. And you see let's make her an orc. She's a orcish woman. You can tell she's an orc just through the window. Definitely too large of a build for the usual human female you've seen here. But her skin coloration is not green. It is brown.
Hmm.
And she has the same kind of facial variation that humans from this area have. The eyes are more kind of slanted and the cheekbones are higher. She sees you out front and pokes her head out the door and furrows her brow. The Westerners, I was told you were going to be at the party, and that's where I was headed, but if you want to come in here and spend money, absolutely, I'm still open.
I'll greet her kindly and Crescient
Ah,
and tell her my intention to buy out a lot of her stock.
buy out a lot of my stock. My goodness. What are you making, Western boy? She has a very fervent look on her face. What do you know?
I know many things. Some of them privy only to myself.
All right. Well, I'll just have to reverse engineer whatever it is you're cooking up, Western boy. What do you need from me?
I need 3 bags of red sulfur, 4 bags of monster spine extract, 5 bags dream herb, 3 bags white phosphorus, 10 vials of sucrose agents. For good measure, 10 horns of simple gunpowder.
So you actually are buying out most of my stock.
Yes.
All right. Well.
I already tallied it up. It's 1,350.
Thank you for doing that for me. She raises her eyebrows and makes a note to very slowly go and collect your materials so that she can sneak a few questions here and there. Huh. Monster spine. Instract. Let's see, you could touch the nervous system pretty well with some of the molecules that are in there. What are you using as a delivery agent? Ah, of course, the sucrose agent. Why wouldn't I think of that? You wouldn't be trying to paralyze anybody, would you?
Not currently, although that is an interesting idea.
I'm not your test dummy anymore.
Oscorgath.
Huh.
Most of it is for a personal project.
All right.
However, I do currently have 2 barrels of alchemist's fire that I need to refine. I need to restock on the dream herb mostly. I had figured out how to condense it down with the sucrose agent. Make a rather wonderful sleeping potion.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a whole lot of fun.
By the way, I just bold-faced say that in front of Mr. Smiley.
Oh,
She chats with you a little bit after giving you your items, and she tells you the total. She actually underprices you and and says it's 1,200.
A flat 1,200?
Yeah. Wait, what did you say it was? You tallied up yourself?
1,350.
There, yeah. Okay, so she gives you a flat 1,200 for everything. Because, Smiley, you're pretty much invisible to Puke Puke here, but she is making eyes on Ral.
And Ral is just stone-faced.
Right. Well, so a Westerner, one of the first Westerners in Rutan in several generations, walks into my store and I make my monthly profit in a single night. It's a very interesting person comes in and does that. Well,
Quite.
I should like to know
I'll
more.
hold my... Is there a bell on the counter at all?
No, not Puke Puke. She's very disorganized.
No, any just stray metal object.
Sure. Yeah, there's like a metal what you call them, Bunsen burner.
I'll make a stray gesture with my hand and run my knuckles over top of it. And as it sticks to them, I'll just... Interesting indeed.
You must come back. I have a fresh shipment of dream herb on its way from the Dorgon Plain. It'll be here, and you could do more experiments with it. And who knows, maybe we could experiment together sometime.
Perhaps. You don't happen to collect anything else here, do you?
Just potions that Puke Puke has made herself. The kinds for adventurers, the kinds that make you better at, fighting and dealing with threats you find out there. She motions to the range.
Those would be interesting to my friend here. I motion to Mr. Smiley.
Hello.
Yeah, what do you want?
That one, please. Smiley pointed another keen potion.
Yeah, 500.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Thanks. Sorry.
Well, Mr. Mysterious Man from the West. From what I hear, you have
Please,
a party to get
call
to.
me Relorian.
Relorian? Well, call me Puke Puke. You have a party to get to, or so I'm told. You could skip out on it if you wanted.
Should I leave?
Sadly, I believe that would be very rude.
Alright. Well, I'll get more interesting stuff for you to play with. Talk to some of my contacts, see what kind of rarer materials I can drug up for you.
I've recently come into the possession of a rather large amount of boulette bone. Most of them already ground up into a fine powder. But I would be interested in any of the electrical muscles of any eels or larger creatures.
You're going to want to kill yourself some kappa. The kappa, they call them oni. They come out at the least opportune times, places of deep water and moving water. They tend to congregate there. They terrorize some of the farmers around the village here. If you got some of their muscles, there's some latent electrical power in some of those.
Interesting.
Now, I don't have any fancy assistants or anything like that. I can barely pull things together to get it by, but if you got me some kappa muscles, I would be happy to help you with any research you might be doing. For free, of course.
Wonderful. And have you need of a research partner yourself? And I point out towards the docks. Our ship was... What was its name again, Mr. Smiley?
Your call.
Yes, we are on the your call.
The Westerners
Out
have a
in the
way of
docks.
naming their boats, but I won't forget that. Well, alright, Mr. Mysterious Stranger. If you have everything you need, I'll be looking forward to your next visit.
And as will I. Enjoy your evening. Ral will give a humble goodbye and Crescent and head on his way.
Korgath, don't ruin my visual joke before I even make it. Don't ruin my visual joke, because I was gonna do that.
Crocky, these cappers sure are wild. Don't let them get near your butthole.
I hate
What?
all of you.
We're just drinking sake and eating noodles and beef.
You sure are, and the mysterious stranger has come up, and I'm gonna have him say some things, but after I go to the bathroom, so be right back.
Well met, mysterious stranger. I see that you are wearing a black hood that obscures your features.
Hey!
That's when Ral pulls his hood down. It was me, Ralor, all along.
Wait, Ral, if you're here, then who's in the alchemy shop? And Ral in the alchemy shop pulls back its face. It's fucking Archie.
What?
What?
I think this is. What if it was Rupert? Rupert came along. He's been trolling us the whole time.
Dressed up as a Ral.
I mean, he could just polymorph himself.
You know what I
He's-
sometimes think about as a player?
What?
What?
The fact that
Stealing stuff?
there are two necromancers just running around. We never did
Huh?
catch them.
Huh? Oh, yeah, the pirate bitch, or the puppet bitch, and
Yeah.
her man.
There's totally like two liches. We don't know anything about them, and we just kind of.
One wanted to duel Rupert for a golden fiddle. Seemed like a song.
He
And
can't
the
be
other
that
one?
nefarious.
And the other one did kind of help us a little bit.
Sort of.
And they were just trying to get their son back, I believe, who died. And Charon got him. So I really think they worked for him, and they were just keeping an eye on Cecil to make sure he didn't succeed. Man, every time, last two times, I'm not going into any more restaurants. I'm tired of mysterious hooded figures. Last two places I've been in.
Oh, it's fine though. It's fine.
Think he's
Surely
gonna
this
try
place won't get set on fire, mysterious.
to think this guy's gonna try to mug us? What is gonna
Uh,
happen?
the
Seven
mysterious
Nation
stranger's just
Army
like,
starts playing.
bum, 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 bum.
Oh,
I mean-
I'm leaving this country. I got no ties here.
Is he, without his hesitation, snaps the stranger's neck? Nope, nope, not having another bivol. Nope, no. The moment someone comes into the, they're just like, you're not supposed to be here. I am tackling that person to the ground. Nope, 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 nope. You don't get to be a plot important character now. You get to burn.
Really? Snap his neck?
No.
Oh, I was gonna be so proud of you, boy.
But it's
Korgath,
this-
an advocate for just wanton murder.
Wanton or wonton?
Well,
Both.
we're in Crescent after all.
I mean, I could eat well, them wontons she described sounded really good. Yo, can we get an order?
I
of
could
those
m-
too?
You
Yeah.
are
Could-
given a huge giant bowl of wonton soup.
Hell yeah.
So this is a middle-aged man, and he kind of has his hands clasped together. And the tone he takes with his diction, you know enough Crescient to know that he's being extremely subservient and polite to you.
Man, this soup's really good. Hello.
Um, yes, since you are, oh, I don't know how to put this, adventurers from the West, I was wondering if you could help me.
Just in common, I'll be like, shit.
Z responds in common. Yeah, it's about that, isn't it?
That's the wrong.
Is it?
What's your problem?
I'm sorry. I am Kazitani Aquino. I farm on the Aquino farm in the field of hopes and dreams.
What?
I had those one time, and now I'm here.
That sounds like a nice place.
Kazataki something. That's your name.
It's, you don't know the area yet, it is out of the north gate of Rutan. About 5 miles north is my farm.
Whew.
I've had issues with Kappa coming and ravaging my crops.
Oh, you don't say.
The Shogunate, well, I am not rich, so they do not come and help. Sorry for wasting your time with this. It is.
What
beneath
do you grow?
I grow the rice, the very rice that is used for this sake.
That we're drinking right
Oh.
now? It's pretty good.
He nods.
Rubs his chin. This is pretty sweet sake, Mr. Korgath. You gotta admit.
Do you
Like
make
literally,
it
it's
there,
very sweet.
or just grow the rice?
I just sell them the rice. They brew it here locally at Nori's.
By the way,
Come
Z
in.
will put in more an inquisitive stance. Kappa?
Yes.
Confused tone.
Rather vexing Oni that lives in moving water. They, resemble frogs. He makes a kind of like a jumping motion with his hands. They resemble frogs. They're very aggressive and they like to feast upon farmers' crops. I haven't had any fight in me for years, so I cannot fight them off myself. The Shogunate promised to help, but they have done nothing so far.
Kazataki, hopes and dreams, 5 miles north out of the gate.
How long would 5 miles be in land walking time?
Man, we've got Sanyaks.
That is true. We do have Sandyaks.
Yeah, upon your Sanyaks, you can cover 5 miles in about 20 minutes.
I don't know, Mr. Korgath. I've kind of been itching to fight something for like a month now. I got a lot of pent-up aggression to deal with.
We got like a party to go to in a little bit. Maybe tomorrow.
It does not have
We're
to
gonna
be
do it-
today. I was just, hoping if you could come by the farm someday.
Party tonight? Like tonight? It's like middle of the day right now.
Yeah,
It's
this
not-
evening.
It's not middle of the day, it's about 4 p.m.
Oh.
That's why
Oh,
we're
okay.
That's why we're eating second
Oh.
lunch and not first lunch. First lunch is in the middle of the day.
I mean, I'm down to help out the locals. It'll be a good impression, right? Sets a good tone for things.
How big are Kappa?
Oh, they are about as big as the red one here.
I'm
Wait,
not
you're
red. I'm
you're not red.
still appearing as a human.
They're about as big as your friend here.
Oh, hell, that shouldn't be any big deal then.
Frog-like, they jump
Nah.
around a lot.
Do they taste good?
Oni meats. Sacrilege. He makes a spitting motion on the ground.
Why'd he spit?
Did he spit at
Did-
us?
He didn't spit. Like, he didn't actually spit, he just made the motion. Do not speak of such things as eating Oni.
In common, I'm gonna say, you sounded very rude for a second there.
Yeah, for somebody that wants our help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies, you are not familiar with our superstitions and cultures yet. They say that to eat the meat of Oni is to become an Oni oneself.
Oh.
Huh.
Probably shouldn't eat it then, maybe. I mean, I could probably eat it and be fine. I'm saying in common.
Maybe we could, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll talk to the rest of our friends and see what we can do. Kaz.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And with that, the mysterious stranger heads out.
I think we just got our first side quest of the new campaign.
Second.
I was about to say lunch and a second side quest.
Yeah. I think I'm about done. It's ticket, please.
Yeah, we should probably pay for our meal and get going.
Nori is speaking with the chef in a very quick Crescient that I don't think either of you are going to be able to pick up.
Could I roll an insight check to kind of get a gist of what they're saying?
Yes.
By body movements.
Sure. Insight from both of you.
Oh man.
Not bad. Pretty good.
She is she's definitely just making sure the chef is cool with things.
Paying a lot more attention in class than people thought I did.
She's making sure the chef is cool with things before she walks up and gives you a big smile. You are with the Radovan, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hi.
We will have the Shogunate cover you tonight.
Oh.
What's your policy on open containers down the street?
She looks confused.
Like, can you drink outside while you walk down the street?
You can ask the drunks outside.
I'll take a bottle to go then.
I'll also take a bottle to go.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't tell me somebody else is splitting the bill and not expect me to get one to go.
I don't know. I mean, like, what's your policy of it? Like, we just walk out, arms full of bottles?
No, what are those little, like, dough things that look like they're covered in powder? Or is that powder or sugar?
That is mochi.
Yeah, some of those too,
Mochi.
please.
No, take a bag of that.
Okay. She bags up some mochi for you.
Ah, it's sticky. She's already
Good.
eating one.
Alright. I see y'all at the party tonight. Thank
Peace.
you.
The entire bar cheers you as you leave.
They're really excitable people.
It doesn't take much, does it? Are the girls still looking at Z?
They are, and they look wistful as he leaves.
There's a slight wind blowing through my hair.
Oh, yeah. If there's a slight wind blowing through your hair, they all sigh in unison and let out a Crescient exclamation. So kawaii!
Not even he's hot. He's he's so cute. Why doesn't it?
Whatever, let's go.
Yeah, we got to. Oh wait, Mr. Corgo, we should what's it called? We should get some new duds to like match in with the locals.
What's wrong with what I got on?
Nothing. I mean, it looks good on you.
Change. Let's go. I mean, I'll go
I
with
was
you to
like-
get something, but I don't plan on changing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to get some new clothes.
Yeah,
You know, show appreciation for the local culture.
You look like a free laborer right now.
I do look like a free. Well, I am a free laborer, really.
All right, let's go find
think so,
Z some
Zeki?
clothes.
Yeah.
I pull my straw hat out of my bag of holding and just put it on.
Okay. So the two of you make your way to the to a tailor store. You look through the windows and you see Radovan in there.
Oh, hey, it's Radovan.
This motherfucker everywhere. He's a. I think he's a true bad guy. We should kill him now, Z, and just win.
What do you mean the true bad guy? What does that mean, the true bad guy?
Yeah, just look at that face. pure evil.
Dude, he's an old man. Since when has an old man ever been a bad guy?
Neck snap, painless.
Mr.
Poor
Korgath, I'm starting to think
Radavan.
you have aggression issues.
I haven't done any. That look, got the itch. Maybe
You
we should
beat
go
me
kill those kappas tonight.
Maybe after the party, why not?
Hmm.
Well, they probably can't see in the dark.
This sake's pretty stout shit.
Really?
So,
Kind of looks at the bottle.
I mean, real sake is pretty potent.
yeah.
I know,
You
but-
guys are,
but
you guys
Zeke
are
can't
feeling
be-
it.
Z can't be drunk anymore.
That's true.
It's just the saddest part about being a monk.
A drunken
Just
master
a-
monk that can't be drunk. How
Yeah,
does that even work?
it doesn't. They just
Your
commit.
class
That's why
feature
you.
turn off.
Yeah, that's why you don't see a drunken master over level 9. Because they refuse to level up. They're like, nope, I want to get drunk. Absolutely
Turn
not.
off XP.
Alright, let's go get you some clothes.
Yeah, let's go into the store.
You wander into the store, and Radavan looks over, and he's wide-eyed. Wow, well, that's the most punctual you two have ever been.
What do you mean?
Okay.
I have just arranged to have all of you custom tailored.
Oh shit!
I'll
I
custom
was actually
your
just-
fucking Taylor.
Completely on the bill of the Shogunate.
Damn, that's pretty good fortune actually. I was just saying to Mr. Korgath that we should get clothes to match with the locals. You know.
Hey, Mr. Kogan, we should get close match with another.
Yes, and I was looking forward to having to seek out the 5 of you. But 2 of you are here already.
I'm
So,
good with what I got on. I'm fine.
I know you are,
Okay then.
but
Mm.
diplomacy dictates that we must dress up for this party.
Last time I did something you wanted after I didn't want to, it didn't end out real well. I don't know if I want to trust you now.
What
Korgath, it's
I'm offering you,
clothes.
what I'm offering you, Korgath, is free clothes made of the
don't
finest
give a-
silk of Crescent.
You're gonna have to do better than that. I don't give a shit about clothes made out of silk.
Korgath, it feels so good in your skin. It's smooth and it doesn't chafe or itch. I mean, if you like the itch, I mean, I guess that's your thing, but
Almost immediately, you are set upon by a couple of assistants who begin to take your measurements rather invasively. So,
Just go. Can I like grab one's put my hand on one of their foreheads and just like keep them away from me? Like, no.
she keeps her distance and looks over at Radavan, and Radavan kind of glowers a bit.
I said you're gonna have to do better. What you got?
The 300 gold piece bar tab you just rolled up at Nori's.
Here, 300 gold. What
yeah.
else? You don't think I
Okay,
got 300
Mr.
gold
Radavan?
laying around?
With
Mr.
that-
Radavan, I've got a clue for you. We want to go beat something up.
What's that?
Ah.
If you got, I don't know. Do
What do
you
these
have
clothes
anything?
look like?
So you're seeing a lot of very formal-looking Crescent attire. It is very high-quality silk, better than pretty much at the caliber of clothes Cecil wore,
Mm.
and it's all very patterned and intricate. And you can come up with the patterns and everything yourself if you so choose to have it
I
done.
want mine without sleeves.
Very well. The assistant makes a note on a little pad she's carrying around.
Or if possible, I'd like to be able to move freely with mine. You know, something formal, but also like I could, I don't know, run in if need be.
Oh, you are very lucky that vests are in style right now since the Shogunate took power.
Oh, lovely.
Radavan walks up to you, Korgath, and kind of lowers his voice. Listen, I know that, the business in Bavol, we steered you wrong there. And truth be told, we're probably getting into some shit here.
Hmm.
But this is an opportunity for you to actually live like the hero you are.
I almost think if a man was a hero, he should be able to dictate how he would dress, but whatever.
If you so choose to wear that to the party,
No,
You
no, no, she's already making me something without sleeves.
well, you won't hear anything from me about it.
Yeah, but there's like 6 more of you fools that came with us. I'll probably hear something from one of them.
Camillia's not here. Jocko doesn't care.
Or that's a bitch that likes slapping.
Kaela's probably gone off and done her own thing at this point.
Let's just, whatever, do it. Let's go.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think the white or the black? I'm leaning towards the black, but the white might look nice, especially with like a gold trim.
Maybe purple.
The black's got purple. Purple's more my dad's kind of thing.
Like father, like son.
Remember, it is true. What kind of patterns they got?
So they show you one with a rising sun on it. They show you one with spirals on it. There's one with a tree. There is one that is a yin yang, the simplified symbol of Shuke. They got any pattern that you can dream up, it seems like.
You know what? Let's go with that like famous tsunami pattern kind of thing. Go with that.
Classic. In style back in the Asuka days. Definitely still in style.
Hey, take that then in black with the gold trims and inlays, I guess. Styling.
And you can see that they are crafting it up right in front of your very eyes. The highest quality dyed silk. The pattern gets embroidered right in front of you.
Wow, man,
I
that's
just want like
that
a sleeveless samurai robe without the undershirt.
So with that, you guys in the alchemy shop, after you left Puke's, you crossed by. Let's see. So this is Smiley and Ral. You crossed by the tailor, where you see Korgath and Z currently getting fitted out.
Raoul raises an eyebrow and looks to Mr. Smiley. This looks like it could be interesting. He points them out.
he is trying not to giggle as they like do his inner thighs. Like, no, careful what you do.
But they are all business and they continue to do it.
No. I see them outside the shop.
Yeah, you look out, you see Ral and Smiley kind of standing there gormlessly.
I give them a big wave, then I'm probably slapped upside the head by one of the workers. Probably the senior member of the store. He's like, keep still! And I'm like, oh, yes, sir.
Yep, that's exactly what happens.
Ow.
With a chuckle and a smile on his face, Raoul will enter after that.
Radovan calls out Increscient. These two as well. Only the finest. Let them choose their patterns and their design.
Something like this, but maybe something like that. The wave pattern on the back.
There we go. That looks nice.
Yeah.
Z has finished getting outfitted in robes that look very similar to that he's posted. but the coloration is white and gold with a tsunami pattern.
Do I have did I get a complimentary pair of Geta?
Yes.
Hell yeah! I'm clunking around on them.
Mm.
Yo, I'm an entire 6 inches taller with these! Which, I mean, he thinks for a second, I guess I could just be taller if I really wanted to. But still, it's pretty cool, right? Clock, 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 clock.
The store owner watches Z clonk around in his Getas and glances at Korgath. The shoes are optional in this day and age.
No.
Very well, sir. And you two. The store owner turns his attention to Smiley and Ral.
Ral takes a moment.
Oh, I was muted.
Oh.
That explains it.
You go.
Ral, he pulls out his journal and shows them the spiraled tree that's pressed onto the front of the leather. Can I have this put on the back of mine?
Huh. Absolutely. He takes one look at your reference and begins sewing like a madman.
In a green and blue with golden cuff.
Absolutely. Smiley, you're looking around this shop and you're seeing rolls of silk that would be worth armfuls of gold.
Can you help? What do I want?
I mean, I went with this solid black sleeveless getup. I like it. It's alright. It's alright.
What's going to be the least attention attracting?
Probably the color black, sir.
That then.
Huh? You want to look like
Yeah! And me!
Oh god.
At least we'll match.
We're gonna be like Cobra Kai up in this bitch.
How big my sleeves are, he flaps them around. It'll be warm tonight.
So, he begins tailoring out your clothes as well, Mr. Smiley. Radovan looks at all the work that's being done, all of you getting fitted, all of you getting custom-made, high-quality outfits, and he shrugs. I suppose our resident won't be joining tonight.
Oh yeah, where is Naomi? Last I saw she was at the blacksmith. Wait, no, I never went to the blacksmith. I retract that statement. So he grabs the statement and pulls it out of the air.
What?
She's still at the blacksmith. I believe she will be there on her own time.
That's what I figured. I won't waste my time trying to seek her out, and in fact, I am rather grateful not to.
I believe the statement she would say, so is she.
Well, as many of you as feel like showing up, the more, the better.
Free food, free drinks.
Indeed.
Well, let's go.
Well, once
300 gold, and I was worried about that shit being expensive.
once everybody is dressed, we should head down
What you
to the
don't
palace.
know is only 20 of that was your meal.
I don't care. Man, that's 3 bottles of high-priced sake. That's not terrible.
It's pretty terrible.
2 meals.
Oh yeah.
Order a wonton soup, some donuts to go.
By the way, you guys gotta try this. It's called What would they call it again?
Sake.
Mochi? No, the sake's for us.
Oh, well,
I
no,
mean, we should probably share.
Well,
We should probably share it with them. But they got
Not
this stuff. He
relevant.
pulls out the mochi. It's like really sticky and kind of sweet, but not too sweet.
Smiley will take a swig.
Nope, that's the
Nice.
donut.
Take a swig of the mochi.
Take a. He's a pirate. He can drink anything he wants.
Don't try and stop me.
Yeah, man, do you?
He just stuffs it in a rum bottle and drinks it.
Rums.
If
Ooh,
the
Swatch.
if the helpers were disturbed by Smiley forcing mochi into a rum bottle and drinking it, they don't say anything.
They
Does
are
that a swashbuckler
professional.
feature you? You just always have a bottle of rum on you?
Swig anything? Yeah.
Yeah. Swag anything.
Are we done here? This is very. I don't like it in here.
Is it my swigging?
Mm-mm.
To be fair, it's a very good technique with your swigging. Where'd you learn that?
Can I get a hat that match my clothes?
Yes. You are presented with a sakat,
Yeah, sure.
sort of a conal reed hat.
Ooh, 2, please.
Very well.
The
And
fuck, mini-me?
you are given a
Arr.
sakat as well, Mr. Smiley.
It's a cool hat, man.
If I order a punch in the face, are you going to order one?
Depends on what it looks like.
Big and green?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Let's go party. Is it time?
Yes, it is time.
I know who the Sakat is now, but thank you. Oh, wow, +1 agility. Hell yeah, let me add that in.
And a +1 to agility? God damn!
Can I get
Why
like
did
we need to stop back by the blacksmith shop. I want to get like a blade put into the edge of mine so I can frisbee it at motherfuckers and cut their heads off.
Kung Lao.
Ooh, me too.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that Z
but-
has picked up a fan on the street somewhere, and it's lined with metal so that he too can block blades at the fan.
Turning this into Mortal Kombat. Let's go.
I'm sorry, but we can't sew blades into your hat here.
That's why I said the blacksmith.
Surely the
Thanks.
blacksmith has no quarrel about hidden weapons.
They probably don't have any blades. Well, they probably do because they cut the silk.
You do hear the blacksmith hammering away.
Let's just go to the party. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm sure Naomi will probably show up in time.
It's first dinner time.
All right. So you start heading towards the party. Naomi, back at the smithy, asks you for your help tracing out a new rune, and he kind of smiles to himself. Aren't you worried about your Western friends and not showing up at the party tonight?
No.
I figured.
You know, humans here, they live for a couple thousand years. They think they're the bee's knees. Kill each other and start over again. And they're always having parties about it.
Huh. Yes. Yeah, that seems to be the case. He strikes his hammer down.
What did happen to the old rulers? Where'd they go?
Emperor Asuka, down in the ground. Prince Asuka, also down in the ground, died defending his father. How noble. They say that, Miyamoto Musashi, the samurai, sent to guard the royal family. They say that he, in disgrace, fled the capital and now wanders the land. He is wanted.
Huh.
But you know who's not wanted? Princess Asuka, he strikes his hammer down. Princess Asuka is, of course, dead, according to the shogunate. Killed in the coup against the capital.
Huh.
But for a dead person, she sure does make herself shown quite often. This most recent time to the south, towards Zhongshan.
Seems rather reckless for a dead person.
Rather reckless for a dead person, indeed. If you want my take on it,
Not really.
very well. He stops talking and goes back to hammering.
She goes back to doing her magic.
So, the rest of you, Ral, Smiley Z, and Korgath, make your way back towards the Imperial Palace, where the sounds of live music reach your ears.
Oh, it's one of those parties.
Oh no, but you guys, well, this is some bumping beats.
I mean, we can't go to bed. We can probably hear it in our room.
I can give you some wax if you want.
What?
Hey, stuff wax into your ears.
We could just give you one of those pills like you gave, potions like you gave me, and make you go to sleep after one drink.
I don't actually know if that would work on me. My anatomy's kind of busted up.
That is a good point. Ral would have trouble with you.
Mm.
Poisons
Regardless,
can't.
I hope Brow heard that conversation as we walked in.
He did. Z doesn't look towards Raoul, but considered doing it.
Raoul doesn't say anything, but there is a glimmer in his eye.
I am lucky that Z is that much of a bro.
The bullseye has shifted, though.
As a result, I am a martyr to your shenanigans. Oh, this is what it was like to be Z, to get hit by Z shenanigans.
Yeah, except
Now-
this one is like a couple years due and some well-deserved payback.
I mean, if you consider getting beat for a month, well-deserved payback.
I wasn't hitting you
Depends
hard.
on how valuable your science supplies are, too. Knowing Raoul, that's pretty valuable.
Not like he broke anything, he just made a little fort out of it. Like a pillow fort, except it's made out of Bunsen burners and glass tubing.
I walked off
Yeah,
from
but
this
you stole it.
conversation.
Let's go inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. You get to the entryway of the Imperial Palace, the main entryway, and out front you see Machida.
What's up, Matt? What's up, man?
He looks relaxed, as can possibly
Yeah.
be.
He's always relaxed.
Yeah. And he bows to you gracefully. Hey, 4 out of 5. That's better than what we were expecting, if I'm being honest with you.
No, something came up with the other one.
Oh, I figured. It's not gonna matter too much anyway. Alright. So, all the highfalutin people of the Shogunate are gonna be here. My father is gonna be here, and he's gonna say a lot of stuff. And he's probably gonna want to talk to each of you individually. So, if he does that, the thing to do is you smile and you nod, as I'm sure Radovan told you.
Mm-mm.
All
He hasn't
that-
actually said it. What's your dad like, by the way? Because now that I'm hearing you say just smile and nod,
My dad is the Grand General, the Tairu of the Shogunate. He led the charge against the capital of Rutin here in our glorious victory, he raises his voice, against the
Easy.
corrupt Emperor Asuka. And now we own the joint.
Yeah, I'm just going to the buffet line.
Yeah. Well, we got one of
Is
those. We got shrimp. We got lobster. We have lake trout. We have
Yeah,
rainbow
no,
salmon.
that stuff's not very good.
You guys
Well,
gotta like your fish a lot, don't you?
if you want your land meats, we have your beef, and we have your chicken and your pork. Sure, it's not too different from what's over in Crescent.
Is it cooked?
Some of it.
Then that's not very different.
Seems like you're adapting pretty well, sir.
One in Crescent.
Yeah. Now you're getting it.
I mean, I'm just walking away from him as I'm saying this at this point. I'm done with him.
And Korgath walks inside of the Imperial Castle.
As Raoul goes to follow, he walks up to me. Would it be rude if I... And he produces his pipe from his sleeve.
Oh, all the top shogunate types are all about the tobacco. They import it from, oh, what even is that place called? Moria. Yeah. So, yeah, it wouldn't be rude, but if you're smoking Cressy and stuff, they're probably going to want in on it. He laughs.
Raoul raises an eyebrow.
Well, you have to remember, trade was banned with Crescent until we took over. And now we can start getting that good tobacco.
Fair enough. Raoul will light up and exhale through his gill.
Cheetah goes back to welcoming people in, assuming you guys are walking past.
I'd like to think
Yeah,
I'll turn
well-
around and I'll just, oh, here, take this. And I'll just hand him the empty bottle and I'll turn around and walk back in.
He's holding onto an empty bottle. And he just mutters something under his breath that you can't hear.
Don't want to litter in a new place. Thanks, Machito.
Yeah, no problem, big guy.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day he calls him machismo.
I was thinking about it. Goodbye, Cherry.
So, you walk in to the Imperial Palace, and you are currently sitting in an antechamber. Upon the walls of the palace, you see murals depicting warfare, depicting demons, Oni, and heroic humans standing against the very ugly Oni as they are represented in the murals. And the humans are very pretty in it.
Ah.
A very formal-looking lady welcomes you into the antechamber. She says, "Ah, the Westerners, we are to show you to your finest seats. Although we did have a guest list for 5. And
Well, I'm as big as 2 people.
she nods, and the moment she says that, Radovan kind of bumps his way in.
God, this motherfucker.
Yes. Well, there will only be 4 tonight. It was more than I was hoping for, so show them their best seats."
Do we have worse seats as well?
She smiles patiently at you, Smiley. "Well, the upper class of daimyo, of course, get to sit near the front, so they can behold the glory of Emperor Tanaka. Sorry, Grandmaster Tanaka in his full glory. The lower class daimyo, of course, are in the middle seats, and those of the working class that can afford their way inside, they'll be sitting in the back. But heroes like you, of course, will be sitting with the highest of highest daimyo."
In the front?
Of course.
Oh,
Wow, not even here 5 minutes and we're being treated like real celebrities. Which I guess we've have been, so I'm not really don't know why I'm surprised.
We've been here much longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, like a day or two.
It was a phrase, Mr. Rao.
You've been here for 6 hours.
Forever.
At least 2 weeks, really.
That feels like it.
Shut up.
He's, by the way, has an entire plate. He's kind of Noah's Arked it, and has 2 of everything. Probably has 2 plates made up at this point.
So
Yeah.
you're shown inside of the festival hall, and that is where the buffet is. So, upon entering the party hall, you see towards the front, you see graciously catered tables with very wealthy looking men and women sitting at it in very high class clothes. They are all seated in front of what looks like a large stage. There is a buffet in the center for this section only. Towards the back of the room, you see the lower class daimyo sitting. Their clothes are not quite as high quality. They seem to be sharing a buffet with the working class that also does not seem as well equipped. However, the attendants lead you right past the lower class and the working class, and you are shown directly to the high class buffet.
What's on that working class buffet?
You're seeing some, just some like lower class, like steak, nothing special, steak and chicken, some noodles here.
Well, I'm grabbing a plate of that on the way.
So you're hitting up the lower class buffet.
Hey, I'm getting some steak.
Okay. You see a young man that bears a strange resemblance to the farmer that approached you in the bar.
Oh man, this guy again.
And the younger man gives you a kind of sideways glance and under hushed tones. Are you sure you're in the right place?
You got steak?
Well, I mean, it's not anything like over there in the high class area.
But it's beef and it's cooked?
Oh, yeah?
Well, then I'll eat some of it.
He seems overwhelmed by your humble nature.
You're skirting around them both with another plate, taking 2 of everything.
2 of everything.
2 of...
Z's got this piled hide plate.
He's just got a plate bounced on his head now. There's like a crab claw in his mouth. Probably farm son.
So, as you are walking by with your plate piled high, you brush past a rather portly-looking noble. And he chuckles upon seeing your plate. Ha 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 ha. The Westerners have an appetite, just like I've been told.
Oh, you know what? You know what they say about free food? He doesn't finish that sentence. He's getting food. He doesn't know how to finish that sentence.
You get an incredibly uncomfortable clap on the back from this fat man.
How much bigger is he than Z at this?
Huge.
Is he kind of like Hagrid?
Yeah.
And where he's like about as thick as he is. Oh man, this man is just a box.
Yeah, he's a box of fat. Like there's no muscle. Like he doesn't train. He's just fat.
It's just Cressy and Cecil.
It is.
What? Cecil's here?
No, I was gonna call him Cesar. I was gonna call him Cesaru, but now I can't.
Cesaro donos. Hajimashite. It's got a couple of Oni on a chain, just trailing behind him.
Well, fortunately, they don't do that over here.
Really?
Z, roll a D100.
Oh, here we go. On.
Them girls are bad. Oh,
Oh, it's rising. It's getting better.
Mm,
That's actually my lucky number too.
19.
that's what she said.
Alright, 19. Well, shit.
Let me roll on the wild magic chart.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Oh
So-
boy.
Alright, so Korgath, you witness Z and the fat man having a brief conversation that is quite uncomfortable. But you're over here in sort of like the middle and lower class area, and the people here are kind of looking at you with a sort of distant admiration.
Just awkwardly looking around while I eat my food.
Radovan kind of strolls up and gives a weak smile at everybody and kind of wraps his hand around Korgath, starts leading you towards the higher class area. Listen, I know what this must feel like for you, but over here, you're a Cecil. They don't know what to do with you over there.
I mean, they gave me food. They're doing a pretty good job.
How do I put this? Over here, we are the nobles.
Hmm?
You'll figure it out. Just stick around, Z.
No.
I can't stop you.
Eh.
And with that, Radovan takes off and starts starts consorting with some law-making looking types. Your attention is drawn towards the stage, where the performers finish their current song. A round of applause comes up from the crowd. The magic candles dim a bit in the hallway, and from behind the stage comes a beautifully dressed geisha. This woman is in pure white robes with a red trim, and her hair is done up in a very particular way. She walks onto the stage with the grace of tin cats. Seems like every muscle movement that she makes has been practiced 1,000 times. And as she takes center stage, a curtain opens up from the back of the stage, and 4 other geishas join her in a synchronized dance. And just like that, she begins a very hypnotizing dance. So I am going to need the 4 of you to make charisma saves here.
Oh no.
Christmas saves, you say?
Well,
Mm.
It's begun.
hey.
I would like to
Wow.
take my next action if I am charmed to dispel any charm effects with stillness of mind.
So, so you are at this point no stranger to magical charm effects. All 4 of you have had them done to you at some point or another. This is not magic. This is just raw performance, and all 4 of you failed. You are drawn in by the geisha's exuberant performance as she dances along with the background group. It seems like the party, the unfamiliarity of the people here, the unfamiliarity of the culture and the language, it all just kind of fades away. The month on the boat fades away. Your participation in the Civil War in Bavol fades away. The only thing in your mind right now is this geisha dancing on the stage.
Wow.
If somebody robs me, I'm killing everybody in this fucking palace.
Ral is just taking notes on her movement, on all of their movements.
Their movements are, like I said, absolutely hypnotic.
I guess I'm walking up to the high-end district now. Fuck it.
Back
See
in
you
the
guys.
back in the smithy, Masamune stops hammering for a second, and Naomi, you hear the sounds of lively music coming from the Imperial Palace. Masamune has a wry grin on his face. So why waste your time here with me?
Because I literally hate everyone who lives in this city. You at least
Because
have a use.
yeah. Because if they knew who you really were, they would hunt you down and try and cut off your tails, right?
I imagine.
You know, Emperor Asuko is trying to put an end to that superstition.
Oh, well, good for her.
Yeah. So why show yourself to me?
It didn't make you do what I wanted.
It worked. I'll give you
I
that.
know. You do what I want, everything works out. You don't do what I want, I curse you for forever, so...
Yes, as I'm sure is in Kiaton's purview, he says very casually. I need a go-to rune right here.
She does so. Did you even want to have a conversation anyway about it? Look at all the pretty toys you get to play with.
No, I believe the actual conversation is going to take place far outside of my smithy, using, in part, this blade I'm forging right now.
Probably. I have plans.
Well, I suspect that the great change in fortune that was told to me, that is going to be on you. And to that end, I'm here for whatever you need.
Well, it's not like I'm doing something that doesn't benefit the spiritual realm anyway, so... It's good that you know your place in the natural order of things.
In my years, I've learned not to ask questions. It's a much more important skill than learning to ask questions. It's about asking the right questions. If my instincts
Probably
are
how you've
right.
lived so long.
Yeah. Now you're getting it. He has a big smile on his face as he goes back to hammering. Back at the Imperial Palace, the geisha finishes her performance. And since all of you fucking failed, you are compelled to just... yeah, absolutely. She gives a deep bow.
Wow.
Hey, what? Who? He? She?
She.
It? They?
I said she.
Eh?
So,
And that was some really good dancing. Sorry. Eating a manju bun.
Wow.
I'm guessing we're all sitting near each other.
Yes. You're all
Shit,
kept
no,
together.
I'm at the front of the stage. Ain't nobody holding me back. I got right up in that. Just pushing people out of the way to get up there.
Ral will lean over towards Radovan. Do they have, what was the drink you were talking about earlier? Ral looks to Z, sees his mouth is full, and then turns back to Radovan before Z can even answer.
The sake
Something
is
more
free
towards
flow.
my taste.
The sake is free flowing, but if you want some of their whiskey, they have that too. Radovan says. He's pretty drunk.
Ral just kind of flicks one of his ears. And goes to walk over to wherever all the booze.
You get to the
And try to
booze
find
corner.
himself something more to his elven taste.
Okay. So you're seeing a lot of straight spirits, a lot of human stuff. But towards the end, you see another barrel, and this one is being manned by a elven woman. It's not the merchant. I know it's the portrait for the merchant, but she looks
They all look alike.
similar. And she takes notice of you. Yes, I was told that there were elven complexions upon those who were coming to visit us. We have blood wine.
Wonderful. I don't suppose they make the, what was it, sake, I believe, the local
It's just
drink of choice.
that's just rice. She kind of scowls. No hemoglobin in it.
Shame. I was hoping for something new.
Well,
Can vampire? Try it.
you can't expect a human-run shogunate to come up with new drinks for those of us that are not.
Fair enough. You do have a very interesting friend who might be able to reverse engineer myself something.
The boisterous one over there, she motions to Z.
Yes, the one who is stuffing his cheeks abnormally full of food.
Looks like a hamster right now. They kind of bobble a little bit.
Yes. Well, I don't know much about brewing myself, but one of my friends is into it. It's all about when you introduce the blood. That changes the flavor. Perhaps he could come up with something new.
Perhaps. Supposedly he's made blood wine before. Perhaps I could introduce him to your friend. I'm sure two brewers would get along just fine.
Turf
Well.
war.
If you want to introduce him, you should have no problem finding him. His name is Susano, and he runs the dojo in Rutin.
Ral just kind of smirks. Well, that makes it even better.
She bows graciously as she pours you a glass of blood wine.
Ral will return her bow and thank her in Crescient before going to sit back.
Is it open bar?
Yes.
Yeah, as he's leaving, I'm just gonna be running. I'm walking on up. I heard somebody talking about whiskey.
So, yeah. So you are shown the
No,
fine
time out.
whiskey.
Time out, bartender. I
Hmm.
recently had an incident on a boat. I'd prefer an open bottle, please.
Absolutely. You can accommodate that.
Just I don't need a cup, just a bottle.
He claps for an assistant who brings you out a unmarked glass bottle of golden liquid.
Golden.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking the bottle with me. Thank you. I'll open it. I'm just drinking from the bottle because I don't trust any cups right now. I was leery of the cups.
So, way long ago, Puddlefoot gave you some shit-ass rum and told you it was the high-grade stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the actual high-grade stuff.
That cheeky little bastard.
This stuff tastes like heaven inside of your lips.
Wait till I find his little performing ass again.
Oh man, I'm sure he's showing up.
He better.
Is. So you get your bottle of whiskey, and the music dies down a bit. Quiet comes across the performance hall, and Machida Tanaka, and now all dressed up in very ornamental-looking armor, steps on stage. I may now introduce to you Tairo Hideki Tanaka, Grand General of the Tanaka Shogunate. And there is much clapping as onto the stage strides a man in very ornamental armor. He is a older man. He's going to take up the whole fucking screen here. Hold on. There we go. He's an older man. His refined mustache pokes out from under his ornamental helmet. There is much clapping and rejoicing as he takes the stage. And eventually, people stop clapping and return to their seats. You notice Radovan has his eyes fixated on Hideki intently.
Radovan's been sent here to assassinate this man.
What?
Shh, don't give away the plot line.
What?
Shit! One sec.
Scrambles to like reshuffles notes. Assassinate Hideki. Fight Oni.
I am not getting involved in another civil war. I refuse. We'll join the winning side.
And this
Oh,
is
we should
when
join the losing side because then they'll become the winning side. They'll make things interesting.
No.
this is just when fucking Radovan just cackles madly and turns into a big ass blue Oni. Starts shooting fireballs and lightning everywhere.
Then we're just like, that's probably not Radovan. We should have probably realized this. Oh well, we just grab everyone and just head back to the boat.
Okay, well, had fun. Bye.
Bye! Z runs out with like the buffet. on his...
Thanks for your hospitality. Get them lobster rolls, Z.
Don't get them! Just in a sack, shoveling all the food.
Take the bag of holding. Just fill it up.
Did we break the DM?
I think so. Who said no doggy bags?
All right.
Welcome back.
I'm back. So, Tanaka is center stage, and eventually the crowd quiets down around him. Ladies and gentlemen of Rutin, welcome to a new dawn.
His accent's...
I'm sure all of you have had a lot of pent-up nerves about the way that the war would go. But as I stand here on this stage, it is clear to me that we were victorious, and the Tanaka Shogunate is now in control of Crescent. with that, there is much applause and clapping and hooting and hollering. Yes, yes. Fine daimyo of Rutin. Those of you who supported the shogunate, you have already begun being rewarded. The nastiness is now behind us. So, like I said, I welcome you to a new dawn for Crescient, one not hallmarked by ancient superstition about outsiders, a new dawn for Crescient that welcomes outsiders and those that would render their aid. His eyes linger on Radovan and the rest of you. Yes, you may have noticed that we already have some visitors from the West, and some entrepreneurials of our own have begun sailing out west. That is because I have lifted the embargo on trade to the nation of Speria, and that is met with much more applause and shouting.
Are we the entrepreneurs or are we just trade goods?
We're both, to be honest.
Yes. Yes, well, I intend to forge a new relationship with our Western friends, one that will be mutually beneficial, without all the superstitions of old that held us into the Dark Ages. The Tanaka shogunate has never been stronger than now, and it's with your continued support that the shogunate can continue to provide for you. Places to farm your goods, places to peddle your wares, places to fish, places for artisans of all kinds. Yes. Now, I must turn your attention to a small bit of nastiness before the festivities continue. It would seem that loyalists have started some kind of uprising down in the city of Zhongshin. Now, I'm sure that many of you had not heard of this. I had only learned of this 2 hours prior, but it would seem that those loyal to the traitorous Asuka still wish to make their stand. There's kind of a general cajoling from the crowd. But rest assured that the shogunate has the situation under control. With all of the royal bloodline dead, there is no hope of the backwards Asuka dynasty being restored to power. With that, I leave you in the capable hands of our wonderful Gaesha. He turns to the beautiful geisha woman who has taken it backstage. Yamamura, please. This old man has spoken enough. And with that, General Hideki takes it backstage, and Yamamura comes up again for another number.
Oh god, here we go again.
You don't need to make charisma saves this time. The initial shock has worn off, and now it's just a really good performance.
Is it just me, or
Right.
does it not seem as good as the first one?
I mean, I think that was just kind of the shock of it, new culture, new land. But I mean, I appreciate the moves. That is some serious middle body strength going on there
The core.
to hold that pose.
It's the core.
Yeah, korma. Right. I'm not a physician.
I'm not either, but I know about my muscles. Physicians
That
heal
looks-
people. Like a doctor.
So, what's that profession where you look after muscles? Physiotherapist. There we. No. They build muscles.
Yeah.
Physios. They're not a physiotherapist.
Radovan,
Radovan gives you a serious look and a small smirk. So how much of that was bullshit?
How much of what was what?
Hideki.
Wait, do you want
How
me to
much
roll
of
an
you-
insight check?
How much of you bringing us here was to fight another civil war?
We are here for the dragon eggs, he says,
That is
laying
true.
back in his chair.
Yeah, let's say that loud so everybody can hear it.
He looks around, and everybody's kind of partying and doing their own thing. I'll tell you, there is no place safer to talk than at a party.
That's just the alcohol talking.
Well, whatever the case may be, you have our mission in the right. We are here for the dragon eggs, not whatever civil war or insurgency or what have you. Now, of course, on the surface we are, but that's my job. He gives you a very knowing smile.
On surface, we are what?
Shh, don't ask too many questions. We'll be dragged into it again.
I'm not getting dragged
Don't-
into nothing. I don't have any stake in this.
Oh, that steak right there. He
I don't have any-
points to his steak.
I don't have any brothers that live in Crescent that I know of.
It is my job to ensure that Spiria is here to assist the Tanaka Shogunate in whatever they may be need.
Don't be doing nothing stupid.
It is your job to find out about those dragon eggs.
I'm not. I'm just here to eat, drink, and be merry. This is vacay. Oh yeah, wait. I might need to go help this farmer tomorrow or someday.
I encourage you to do that.
He's got like a Kappa problem. I don't know. He doesn't have much. He said these guys wouldn't come help.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just down to punch something. It's been a while.
That doesn't surprise me for a simple fact.
Well, I mean, you could go to the dojo. I'm sure they'd let you punch something there. Oh, Machismo told us about him.
Listen. We
To
need
the
to
music,
make these
I'm confused.
we need to make these people as happy as they can be while we're here doing our business. If you go out and help a farmer clear up his little primal fey problem or whatever it is he has, then that's another
Kappa.
that's another positive voice for you. The truth is, from what Machida tells me, a lot of the cities in Crescent are still under martial law. Not very pretty. Not the kind of thing that old mustache up there is going to show us willingly, unless we're his friend. If we make nice with the people of Rutin here, we might get a red carpet laid out for us to do whatever we need on this continent.
What color carpet do we already have then?
Be wary of purple carpets, friend. He laughs.
Yeah, I'm going to mingle. If nobody in the high side wants to mingle with me, I'm going back over to the working class.
The high side looks interested in you, but you. So you see a rather broad-shouldered orc man in the lower class side of things. That he looks more your speed.
Going over to talk to my homie.
So this orc, you know he's an orc, even though his skin color is different. He regards you and scratches his chin with a confused look on his face. Are you in the right place? You're one of the heroes, right?
Oh, I thought it was because I had a beard and you didn't.
Well. I like to keep myself clean-shaven. Helps please the ladies. They don't usually go for a guy like me.
What's your name?
Ozaki Satoshi.
Alright, Oz.
Oz. I like that.
Yeah.
Oz, kind of gives an easy laugh. Huh. Well, you seem determined to hang out with us, regular folk here.
I mean, them other people kind of got their nose up in the air a little bit.
You
They're
can't
not
say,
very talkative.
You can't say that too loud.
I didn't. Just loud enough so Ozman could hear it.
Well,
I mean, I can say it as loud as I want, but I won't say it that loud.
oh, I didn't say that as DM, I said that as Oz.
Oh, okay.
Well,
What are they gonna do?
well, they'll give you snooty looks, like they're already given.
Yeah.
I'm a fisher. Saved up for a month to come to this thing. And was
How
told
much
like
did it cost you?
entry fee for us regular folk, 300 gold.
Woo!
Yeah. 2 months,
What's-
double time, out on the river.
What kind of fish you catch?
It's the puffer fish that sells for the most. But you gotta get the right one. You can't get one that's dirtied. You have to get a pristine one so that the chefs can work with it.
I probably ate one. I've had a lot of food tonight.
That sounds like a minigame.
A feeling when Z can just eat pufferfish with wild in a frenzy.
Yes.
He gets the cheap pufferfish. It tastes just as good. In fact, it's even a little bit got a little bit of a spice to it, kick
A
to
little
it.
twang to her.
Yeah, a little bit of, it's not bad. It comes pre-seasoned.
Well, Oz snorts through his nose. Well, that's the thing with puffer fish. It's deadly poisonous, which is why all the rich people want to eat it.
Because they're suicidal?
I would be too if I were in that position, but no, it's a sign of nobility, he says with a very sarcastic tone.
When he does that, I'll do like the ooh face.
See, because they can pay specialty chefs to come in and cut up their puffer fish perfectly so that it won't kill them. See, they can afford to eat puffer fish. Doesn't even taste that great. It's just about the status symbol.
Huh.
That said, they run all the shots, and if I want the good waters with the rainbow salmon, I gotta cozy up with the shogunate here. So that's why I'm here.
You like them?
Government is government. There's all this
Yeah.
talk about Asuka being backwards, blocking off trade, a lot of superstitious beliefs, but you know, when you're out on the water, that's not really what you're worried about. You're worried about, are there going to be people who buy your fish up? And let me tell you, being stuck here with nothing but Crescent people, you don't get anybody buying the exotic stuff. They just buy what they know. So, believe it or not, as much of a windbag as General Tanaka is, I kind of like the new blood coming in.
Okay. Cool. How big is old homie?
Not as big as you. He's like a regular-sized orc. You haven't seen near the level of orcs here as you have back home, but you have seen them. And they look comparable to orcs back home. It's just that their skin tone is browner. And their eyes are slanted.
Sure, we're related somehow, even with different colored skin.
Technically, yeah, I can't argue that.
I mean, I don't know. I've been here like 9 hours.
Yeah. Some of the first voyagers over from Speria.
That's what they keep saying.
Well, sounds like you got some big political mission Well, not you specifically, but the people you came with.
Yeah, I'm just here to eat, drink, and be merry.
Well, you're doing a good job of that. But if you spend too
Yeah,
much
buddy.
time down here in the lower class, people are going to start asking questions of me.
You want to try this whiskey before I leave?
Absolutely.
There you go. Take your big swig. I'll just hand him the bottle.
He just takes a giant swig and has a big old happy smile on his face, and then erupts into a laugh. You know, you Westerners are alright.
Not all of us are, but yeah, we are. The ones that came over.
If you ever find yourself out in the central field of hopes and dreams, I got a little place I could put you up in. It's not much, but it's better than paying for an inn.
Hey, do you know Kazutaki?
The farmer.
Yeah. Got a kappa problem?
Yeah. Aquino's over there on the river. Of course he's gonna have Kappa problems living at moving water like that.
So, like, apparently, like, you can't eat those things because you'll turn into an Oni?
Well, nobody's brave enough to try, but everybody does say if you eat Oni flesh, you become a part Oni yourself.
And what's an Oni exactly?
Demon, he says plainly. There's primal fae, those that the arcane touched, animals and such, not like you and me, but animals that work off of instinct.
Yeah, I've killed a few.
Those are primal fae. Oni, however, something different, touched by some other kind of energy. Not fae. Dragons, they say.
Oh.
Leftovers from Inba.
Oh.
There was a time. Well, I can't do the story justice. I'm not much of a religious man myself. But if you won't have any questions about Oni, I would take it to the Shuki Temple.
Oh, y'all got Chuki temples here?
That is the predominant religion of the nation.
Man, I bet my homie Contigo's over there. He'll be so happy to see me again, I'm sure.
Well,
Okay.
you sound like you have travels ahead of you, and I won't keep you any further. Oz says. Gives you a very formal bow, although it's got a hint of reluctance to it, like it's something that
I'll
he's just doing.
hold out my hand to shake his.
He stares at it for a second and takes your hand in his. You might notice a few of the people at the high class area are shooting questioning looks over at the scene, but they don't say anything.
And then I'll pat him on the shoulder and tell him goodbye.
He nods and waves you goodbye.
Am I just like packing my great axe around on my back this whole time?
Are you?
I mean, I don't ever take it off unless instructed to, so yeah, I guess so.
You were not instructed to remove your weapons, so you got your axe
Yeah.
with you.
Okay, cool. Just in case he's...
I mean, you do see that Machida is out in the crowd with his katana across his back.
I'll start making my way to old Mustache Man.
Old guy? Hideki? Sure.
Yeah!
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
not right away. Anybody else can have some chit-chats too in between, but yeah, I'm just gonna start heading that way.
Alright.
So should I be nice, or should I just lay it on Western thick? Like, hell, you put on a hell of a party, boy!
Depends on what, is anybody else doing anything?
Probably
Ral's
stole
gonna
from
keep
somebody.
an eye out for Pookie Pookie and whatever crowd she's hanging out in.
Okay. You see her mingling across the working class. She's with a couple of other women, and they're giggling about something.
Ral will stroll on over,
Okay.
a wine glass in hand.
So you stroll up with the blood wine in hand, and the three girls go quiet as you go up. And Puke Puke shoots you a interested glare. Wow. Crossing the gentrification lines to talk to me, huh?
Hmm?
I'm not used to your social structure here, let alone the social structure back home.
Hmm.
To be terribly honest,
Should have figured as
you're a
much.
fellow alchemist. Therefore, we are of kindred spirits.
Kindred spirits, indeed. Puke Puke smiles. Well, a brief primer, if you cared at all. You have your High Daimyo. That would be the people that supported the Tanaka shogunate before they started talking about war. Then you have your Daimyo. Those are the ones that supported Tanaka after he started his war. And you'll notice that the Daimyo are the people that supported the shogunate as they went to war with Asuka. And then you got the rest of us that managed to scrounge up enough gold to make it to this here event. Merchants, craftsmen, artisans, those that are doing well for themselves, I might mention.
Well, it certainly helps that you have big buyers like myself.
And like I said, I made my monthly projection in a single night with you.
Raoul will sip on his blood wine and do his best to mingle.
So you're mingling with the working class?
This small group in particular.
Okay. Yeah, you chat them up. It's a good opportunity to practice your Crescent. You get on the topic of slang. Damn it. And you learn the phrase slap a kappa by the ass.
Oh god.
Means to go get them with great gusto.
Raoul just kind of nods slowly. You know, I hardly understood slang in my country.
Well, it sounds like this is a new start for a lot of you.
You could say that.
So, she lowers her voice. I know you're here with old guy Radovan, and he's here doing his political thing. But why are you here, Ral?
Well, I have some personal business to clear up.
Oh, that sounds mighty mysterious. What would a Spirian man have personally in Crescent?
Well, if you can't tell, I'm fairly peculiar. And to put it rather simply, I have some catching up to do with. Ralph ponders for a moment. Some friends of my parents.
Alright. I like a mysterious man. Well, do you think there's anything I can do to help?
Well, I do believe they are still keeping up their practice. I believe they like to call themselves scientists. Practice a fair bit of alchemy themselves.
And let me guess. They modified human bodies, she says dramatically.
The gills on Ral's neck open and close. It's almost like an agitated tick.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. Besides, none of these Crescent folk could tell one Fae from another out west. Huh. Do you know where they are?
Fair enough. Quietly retrieving notes. Oh god, I am going to butcher the hell out of this.
Junction?
Yes. Junction.
Ah.
Ral tries to say it and it comes out more like junction to start with.
Good. Ah. Well, Mustache up there just spoke to that. Looks like there's a royalist presence down there. Let me tell you, find me at my store after closing hours, and I can say more. But out here, they catch a whiff of you leaving Rutan, or having any kind of loyalist thoughts, you go away. So, be discreet.
So they don't want us leaving here.
I would speak to your old friend for details on that, but let's just say Rutin is their little mask.
Ral's features are a little darkened. He's just kind of... I guess I will have to speak with you more later then on that matter.
She nods. Please do.
And he looks over to see Korgath strolling towards Mustache, and he's just... Oh, this... I simply must go listen on this.
But before we get to Korgath and Hideki here, back at the smithy.
Back at the smithy.
So at this point, the Nodachi is starting to take shape. Masamune puts his tongs in some water to cool them, and while the sizzling of cooling metal fills the air, he starts talking again. So when did you leave Crescent?
It's a good question. When were you born?
Oh, 1025 post-fall.
Sure, it was about that day.
Guessing at that point you hadn't had much interaction with the mainland. At that point, the fine people of Crescent had run off all the Kitsune, trying to cut off their tails.
I mean, they tried. Did you ever think that we weren't always around?
I had I had my doubts that you were truly gone. My suspicion was in the mist. He looks to you for any kind of confirmation.
I wiggle my eyebrows at him.
Hmm.
How do you know that the Emperor himself right now isn't a kitsune in disguise?
I don't. I just go with what the shogunate tells me. They say we won the war? Okay, we won the war. But you find
So you
yourself...
almost-
You
Hmm?
you find yourself among strange bedfellows, as I think the saying goes out west.
Not anything stranger than the people here.
Yeah, that much would be true. I need a Zishan rune here.
She traces what looks to be the correct rune.
He
Uh-oh.
hammers it into place. Yes, I had long suspected that that particular part of our history would come back to bite us.
Sometimes literally for some people.
Oh yes, I'm quite sure. There are dragons, and then there are others.
Quite a few. What would you know about all of that?
He lays back a bit to let the rune set. Back when I was the premier blacksmith for the Asuka dynasty, I made a lot of high-end equipment. Stuff with runes, much like what we're working with here. You don't need swords with runes in them to fight other human beings. Plain metal does the trick just fine. No, you only have that kind of equipment if you're preparing for a war with something greater. I'm a religious man myself. I believe in the cycle of life and death and its immutability. The dragon above Asura and the dragon below Inma. But maybe maybe they aren't the only two that are capable of miracles.
Naomi just has her head in her palm and she's just like staring at him completely blank faced.
He levels his eyes at you. A lot of very interesting folk came through my smithy back in the day. Some who followed different sets of beliefs. Ancient Fae, like the kind who were there before even the dragons were here. Like the kind who are the rightful owner of this wonderful planet of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm guessing you're probably going to be tight-lipped, but I have my suspicions about who the Kitsune are allied with, and it isn't dragons, and it's not humans.
She just starts to slowly grin.
Huh. Well, you're gonna make this little human thing seem like child's play. Alright, so back at the stage hall, Mr. Korgath. You see, you see General Tanaka talking up the really fat noble that bumped into Z earlier.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. I just want to like be around him, close by,
Okay.
kind of eavesdropping. I'm not gonna initiate conversation.
He is. He takes a side look at you, finishes up his conversation with the fat one, and immediately turns to you. He looks like he's waiting for some kind of formal gesture.
Have I seen any formal gestures since we've been here?
Pretty much everybody is bowed when they came up and talked to him.
Fuck me. I'll bow like a little bow, not like a great big bow. Like,
Take 5
Little-
points of ego damage.
yeah, a little bow. Little bow.
He nods. You are, Radovan tells me Korgath, yes? Strong.
Nod.
Very strong.
I'll just nod.
Muscles like those. Huh. Could have skipped recruiting 20 more soldiers. Well,
Huh?
I welcome you to Rutan. Anything you may need, I hope you should be finding food, clothing, alcohol, place to
I'll
stay.
hold up my bottle.
Huh. Well, it seems you are being well taken care of. Good.
The front is fine.
Thank you.
We will talk business at some point, I am sure. But for now, enjoy yourself upon local Crescent fare. Take in the sights, take in the smells. We welcome you with open arms to the great nation of Crescent.
What do you recommend? What's your favorite thing to do?
Well, a general's feast is not one to be taken lightly. I start with a rainbow salmon spritzed with lime. And then I move to the lobster. Once I've had my fill of the fish, then we move to the land meat. The most exquisite Kobe beef. Yes. Delicately taken care of from calf age. The cow is led to believe that they are royalty before they are killed. The relaxed nature of the beast leads to much more flavorful and luscious meats than those that the common folk eat. He gives an exasperated expression over at the common folk.
Mm-hmm. And that's like over there on the buffet now?
Well, on our side, yes.
Maybe I'll try it.
Very good. Now, well, where is your boss?
I've just got like a really dumb look on my face because I don't really consider Radovan my boss. I'm like, who?
Your superior officer, Radovan.
I'll try to hold back just laughing in his face. And I don't know, I'll look around and because I'm a lot taller than him and see if I can see him anywhere.
So you see, first off, Smiley with a group of nobles at a table, and he's got what looks to be a wooden fork that he's brought along, and he's showing them how it works.
Yeah, because I'm getting tired of stabbing things with them sticks and eating them. Shit's getting old. Eating noodles was real fucking hard.
And beyond Smiley, you see Radovan kind of chatting it up with some official-looking people.
Mr. Radovan, that direction.
Very good. And Hideki turns with a noble bearing and goes to talk to Radovan.
What an asshole.
Yeah, Dad's a trip, right?
Oh,
Cheetah.
what's up?
Just comes up behind you. Yeah, Dad's an asshole, isn't he?
This kind of way of sneaking up on folk.
Noble bearing this and superior officer that, am I right?
Talking about y'all like have royal cows?
The Wagyu, yeah, yeah.
I thought he called it Kobe.
Kobe, whatever you want to call it. They
Kobe? That's what I'm gonna call it.
they feed the cow with what a commoner could eat with for a week. They feed the cow with that stuff, and it's a thing that they do.
Uh-huh.
You'll get used to it.
I don't know. I've had a lot more of them talk to me than I have people over here.
Well, just make sure. Actually, you know what? I don't care. You do what you want, buddy. He gives you a friendly pat on the shoulder and heads off.
That motherfucker is high all the time. He just stays
His
high.
eye-
Wake and bake.
Z.
Oh,
Yeah, you're next.
Z has stacked up like 20 plates. By the way, he's kind of got like the anime stomach bulge going on, and then he finishes like another crab claw. He's like, "Whew, man, that's some good food," and his stomach just slowly starts shrinking. Oh,
So, the geisha that was on stage earlier approaches you, Z.
he stands up, and immediately like the stomach stops like shrinking, and then just back to abs. Like his robes just—it looks like he's pregnant, and then boom. As he stands up and like and bows to the geisha.
Okay. Yeah.
Look, he's got cartoon physics going on. I don't make the rules. He's got like a piece of Naruto in his hair that he flicks off.
The geisha kind of tilts her head and at that display and stretches her chin. She's like, she speaks in a hushed whisper. You find me on top of the tower during the fireworks.
As he blinks.
And with that,
Oh,
she immediately gets kind of scooped up by a group of traveling geisha and wanders off.
oh. Short and sweet. Easy to understand. Awesome.
So the nobles, Smiley, that you are instructing on the usage of a fork are now holding their chopsticks as though you would a fork and kind of spearing their meat with it, and you see their eyes kind of light up. This is so much better.
So easy.
And you all eat like this over there? Are you muted, Smiley?
I apparently was.
Yes.
Sorry, I was talking. Yeah, you've kind of got it. You really need a fork to, use a fork.
Well, we'll get our servants to get on that, making us forks. So, you're a sailor,
I
right?
could... Yar.
Tell me, what are the waters like? Are there mermaids?
I've seen one or two.
Have you
In
seen
the day?
Hellfang?
Hmm. Yeah. So, do you like the forks?
I do, yes. The conversation shifts back to the forks.
Because I could find you some authentic Spirian forks for a fine price.
Oh, absolutely. Whatever price a fork may go for, 500, 600 gold?
It's about there. Arr.
Ah, very well. Absolutely. Any price you name.
Yar. I'll get back to you with forks. And wait till you... Oh, you might have spoons, actually. You've probably got spoons.
She motions to a porcelain spoon that is in a soup bowl. This?
Yep, that's a spoon.
Yes.
Yar.
The conversation shifts to Smiley's sailor conquests. The stage quiets down once more, and Machida takes the stage. All right, everybody. We're gonna be doing the fireworks outside. So, eat your fill, drink your drink, and grab another drink for me, and we will be setting them off shortly outside of the Imperial Palace.
Yay!
And with that, the most of the people start kind of mingling their way outside.
They said, Geisha said that to meet Z up at the roof when they set off the fireworks, or after the fireworks.
During the fireworks.
Okay, I'm gonna head my way up there then.
Okay.
Woo! Fireworks!
So you venture your way outside. Well, I guess not outside. You look for a staircase at the top of the tower at first, but you see that most of the staircases and other areas around the tower have been roped off for the party. So, this isn't too much of a problem for you.
I can literally walk on walls, so I mean.
Yeah. So you find a nice, dark spot on the exterior of the tower, and you make your way towards the top.
Whew, it's cold up. Man, it is a cold night.
So, upon the top of the tower, you get a good view of Rutin at night. The various lights from late opening stores, dying down. You gaze out upon Rutin. You don't see anybody at the top of the tower until you do. The geisha woman rounds around and takes a keen interest in you. So you came.
I mean, yeah, a lovely lady says they want to meet you alone at the top of a tower. You really just kind of go? That'd be rude, right? Wouldn't it?
Well, I have.
Man, look at this view, though.
Rutin almost looks peaceful up here.
What?
It would almost make you forget. Oh, never mind. The geisha gives you a low bow. Introduces herself.
Oh.
My name is Yamamura Suki. And I was hoping to ask you a favor.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, sure. What do you need?
It's my sister, Moriyama. She didn't make it to Rutin before the war started. She was always very strong-willed. After the war started, I kind of lost contact with her. She supported the Asuka dynasty, so I fear the worst.
Oh yeah, you guys had your own little civil war thing 2 months ago, right?
Right. She frowns.
Yeah, I'm literally just came from one myself. That was fun, City burnt down, another city almost burnt down. Fun. He lets off a little bit of steam from his mouth. Maybe it's just the cold air. Maybe it's not. Who knows?
She sees you steaming and gives a big smile. You're not like the others, are you?
Oh, I'm nothing like anyone. Well, Z thinks for a moment. I mean, who's really, like anyone else if you get down to it?
When you ask that question, you hear a loud boom, and a giant blossoming pyrotechnic flower appears upon the sky. Those of you that were outside of the party hall are now witness to something that you have never seen before in your life. You see fireworks.
What?
His jaw just
Huh?
drops. Oh, what? Let me think for a second. Because I think this is basically looks like a giant fireball in the sky, right?
It does.
Yeah, Z is gonna try and get in the way of Yamamura.
That makes her kind of giggle. And she shakes her head. There is nothing to be afraid of.
Cracks open an eye. Oh! Yeah, I knew that. I was just, didn't want any sparks to come down and tarnish, Milady's makeup.
Are we under?
He's like,
A fedora starts forming on Z's head.
no! Slowly but surely, a wave of neckbeard just starts to creep up on his chin. But like from the neck upward, it's like a rising tide.
Disappointed.
Yamamura giggles. I imagine they don't have these back out west, where gunpowder isn't as prevalent. But it's
Oh, normally.
it's just for show.
Okay, good. Because, not gonna lie, in the Civil War we had to deal with, do you guys have alchemist's fire here? Because, yeah, we had to deal with that, and it kind of similar, kinda.
Her face darkens and the humor kind of leaves her face. Look, the last I've heard of my sister, Moriyama, she was in Oni.
What?
She was in Ono, the town of Ono, north of here. You can get there from the Field of Hopes and
Oh
Dreams.
no.
Oh no, gato, Misto, Rabato.
You can get there from the Field of Hopes and Dreams through the North Gate.
Oh, that's a bit of good luck then. We're actually heading out to the fields to deal with some kappas later on, so we can just swing by north afterwards.
If you're out there and you find yourself in Ono, if you could find my sister, I would be indebted to you. And
do you have a description for me? Also, like, if she was part of the previous, like, support of the previous family, is there anything I should say to her to let me know that you sent me to find her? Because I imagine if you're in hiding, you wouldn't be kind of keen to, like, let people know you're still around.
tell her the dream herb blossoms in Doragon Field.
The dream herb blossoms, Doragon Field. You got it.
She nods. I shouldn't have to tell you this, but you can't let any of your superiors know.
Our superiors?
The old man you came here with, General Tanaka, any of them.
Oh, I don't work for General Tanaka. I don't really work for anyone. I'm honestly here on vacation with my father. You've probably seen him. Short fella, 3 eyes.
Oh, yes, the stinky nerd that was wandering around. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, your father, he looked most intelligent and refined.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You're not wrong. By the way, how did you get up here?
She gives you a half-cocked smile and holds a fan in front of her face, and then lowers it. I have my ways. And then raises it up. And then she's gone. Just poofs. Little puff of smoke.
Huh.
Pocket sand.
What a lovely country. And as Z says that, how far is the drop, by the way, to the ground? From this tower?
300 feet.
Let me see, 26 damage.
Yeet.
Tempted to yeet.
Do it.
Just for show. No, I'm not going to yeet my way down. However, Z will...
120
Do the
damage
fat-
is nothing.
That's on my HP.
Oh,
I mean, it's 20d6, so I mean, take
How much-
55 off of that. I might not take any damage. You don't know. DM could roll low.
that's right.
But no, I will anime my way down though. Which by that I mean I will fall down to little ledges that break my fall and then continue doing it. It's like a reverse jumping puzzle. It's a falling puzzle.
So, amongst the cracklings and the booms of the fireworks, you hear goomph, 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 as Z falls his way down the tower
Falling with style.
and lands gracefully upon his feet next to you guys.
G'day. Or good night.
Welcome back.
I had a lovely meeting with a lovely lady. He puffs at his. You cut it a little bit. Gentlemen never. Well, actually, we didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I was about to say you could tell then.
Nothing really. We watched the fireworks.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Look, she was a Did you see the way she danced? She was a very high class lady.
Mm-hmm.
The geisha?
And she just wanted. Yeah.
Just wanted to
The-
use you for something?
What? No.
What'd she want?
I'll tell you more when we're out of town.
We're staying literally in the palace.
I mean, tomorrow. Like, we'll have to swing up north anyway, so I'll tell you when we're on our way to the Kappa Fields. Field of Hopes and Dreams. Man, what a lovely sounding place. I'm sure it's very lovely. And not at all like an incorrect naming convention.
I don't know, I had some of those one time, and here I am. Those weren't it. Where are we?
Route 10. We gotta head.
No, we're not in Route 10, are we?
You are.
Are we in Route
We are.
That thing
We
is-
head through Route 10 up to the Field of Hopes and Dreams, or up to the. Is it in the Fields of Hopes and Dreams?
No.
She said that her sister was in Ono.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a long way.
Yeah, but the fields are in what's it called? Are they in the Route 10 Valley or are they in the Field of Hopes and Dreams? Or is it like here? I guess it would be here because this is where the river is, isn't it?
The river kind of cuts off the Field of Hopes and Dreams in the Rutan Valley.
We
Rutan
got
Valley
an
is to the
incomplete
east
map. Machismo. Can we get an updated map?
Machida
Yeah,
furrows his
Machida.
brow. What's wrong with the map I gave you?
Well, I talked to a guy earlier today who said he had a farm in the fields of hopes.
We're not
going to
put every farm on the map.
I'm not talking about farms. I'm talking about rivers.
Well,
Body of water. Well, is there a river in the field of hopes and dreams?
yeah, it separates the Rutan Valley from the field.
Mr. Smiley, do you see a river on the map that separates the Route 10 Valley?
There's a big one right there.
Yeah, isn't this it?
Does it separate it? Like,
I mean, for the most part, there's a little bit here that
this
isn't separated.
This isn't separated. I mean,
Well, the valley, not Rutan proper.
hang on. I'll fix your map for you. Hang on.
He just brings out like a blue
You've
crayon.
got to add rivers to a map. Oh, okay.
There you go. There you
Meanwhile,
go. Fix your
meanwhile,
map.
some poor farmhand looks over to the left as a wave of water crashes down,
Map
ruining
fixed. Never mind.
tens of thousands of acres of rice.
I just solved our Kappa
Rip.
problem. We didn't even have to go up there. I diverted them motherfuckers out to the ocean.
Just swept up.
Problem solved.
Machida
The beach
is
cap is
backing away.
They have too. These foreigners have too much power.
I mean, I am a god.
Not yet. 6 more levels. 6
So-
more levels, Jumbo.
So the
I would like to take a experience potion.
oh god. So the fireworks fade away, and there's a round of applause from the people in attendance. And with that, that's
Those cameras?
No. No, they're not.
No,
That's what they're using.
They're telescopes on tripods to get
Look.
better looks at the fireworks.
God damn it. Here.
Smiley's worker is done for the evening.
The fireworks wind down, and people generally seem to be dispersing. Radovan wanders up, as he does. Well, how'd you find it?
Incredible.
It's alright.
Well,
I believe I could make better.
figures.
Food was pretty good though.
Also figures. Well, it seems our dear General Hideki intends to put us to work right away.
I ain't working for that little. Is there anybody around?
Nobody's around.
I'm not working for that little shithead.
Yeah, he is a bit, isn't he? But he is in charge of the place.
Well, hell, let's just go home.
Well, remember why we're here. A little something about dragon eggs, and besides,
I'm gonna. Just,
this is
are there any volcanoes on Crescent?
sure, but they're
In the
dormant. There's Mount
right-
Fuji,
It's not active.
or the Raijin Mountains, not Mount Fuji.
I was gonna say.
Jesus Christ. The Raijin Mountains. Well, Raijin's a volcano, but
I need an active volcano to throw those fucking dragon eggs in, so I kind of won't have to worry about them anymore.
oh, please don't.
And please quit making me go to shit places because of them.
Is this really a shit place? Look,
Yeah,
I can see
kinda
them.
So.
I can see them heating up your bed from down here.
They're what? I hate fucking hot beds. Who wants to
Okay,
sleep
I
on
think
hot
you just like
fucking
to pla-
sheets?
I mean, it is kind of chilly. It's pretty late fall.
Good. Cold. You sleep better when it's cold out.
I shall have them not heat your bed then.
Thank you.
How do they?
I have
heat
my bed
beds?
heated, because that's just nice.
Coals inside of a small device goes under the mattress, warms up the mattress, and then they take the device out.
I don't need
Oh,
my
hell
bed
yeah.
heated. I give off enough heat.
Well, like I said, we're here for the dragon eggs. We're not going to get to Naomi's little retreat without the cooperation of the shogunate. We need to at least impress them enough to let us go to the less developed areas of the nation.
Maybe we'll
So-
ask Naomi. See what she says.
I'm all the more willing to defer to Naomi, but there's plenty to be gained here in town.
Mm.
Gold, exotic weaponry, food, girls. They all like you here.
Sounds like you're just saying things I like now, Radovan.
It'd be best if we avoid angering the shogunate for as long as possible, while we try and work towards our goal of getting the dragon eggs to Naomi's god. To that end, General Tanaka has a briefing for us in the morning.
Did he say what it's about?
Some problem with loyalists they're having up in Ono.
Oh no.
I'm not going to kill people.
No, nobody's saying kill people, but we're going to investigate for him.
Did you say oh no or Bavo? It sounded like you said Bavo.
Don't worry. I would not have brought you here if there had been a civil war in the midst about to happen.
Yeah, that's
The
what you
civil-
said about Bavo too.
Everyone stares like it's the office. Naomi in the blacksmith just looks like she's in the office.
Yeah, heard that one before, Rad man.
Radovan's face gets kind of an artificial brightness to it as a couple of important-looking noble types come up. Hey, the Civil War's already over. We're here to help the Shogunate, are we not? Yes. He gives you a knowing look and walks off with them. But as for the rest of you, the party seems to be dispersing, and it would seem you are dismissed.
Mr. Smiley, how many people would it take to sell that boat?
Your call.
Yeah, the one we came here on.
I could do it with 5, I think, if we, practiced.
Okay, so if the shit hits the fan, we're out of here.
If we practice.
That sounds good to me.
Alright, let's practice. In the morning, after the briefing.
What do we want to do tomorrow? Do briefing, go handle farm, go up to Ono. Yes? He shrugs.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
We'll see what the briefing says. I'm not here to do other people's dirty work.
We shall see indeed. But
Should
for
we
now,
go check on Naomi?
Mr. Birdsong.
Jacko's been around. You've seen him with a lot of vegetables. No booze.
He would be a nerd like that.
He looks awkward as shit. Yeah. What's up?
Could I borrow some of your time?
Sure.
I wanted to go over some notes and examine the Modron that we found.
All three of his eyes light up. Oh my god, I was waiting for you to say that. Get me out of here.
I don't suppose you have a method of getting us to the boat quicker?
Why don't we just go to your room?
All of my supplies are on the boat.
Okay. Well, I can't teleport us there, but we can, leave without anybody bothering us. And he starts walking off, and you notice that, people are kind of looking through you right now, Ral.
I'm used to being ignored in the university, but this is on a different level.
Oh, just a modified pass without trace. That's all.
Where did Dad and Mr. Ral go?
I don't care.
Yeah, Jocko
Well, I'm
and
gonna go
Ral
bring
are gone.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go bring Naomi some food because I haven't seen her. Well, Z thinks for a moment. If I haven't seen Naomi, does that mean she's been here or she hasn't been here?
Do you still have all your personal effects?
He double checks.
You got everything.
He reaches like into his like clothes and then like into himself and like double checks where he's like keeping his money.
Into himself.
Yeah, no, it seems to be there. Like,
Then she probably hasn't been here then.
Just like
Yeah, alright, I'll
reaches
go bring
into
us
his
some
belly
food.
button like it's a fucking pocket.
the belly button is nature's pocket. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Ew.
Alright,
yeah,
well,
Z
I'm going
will-
to... You need company, or can you handle it on your own?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll just take the rooftops.
Alright,
Cut
I'm
the
going to
lines.
bed.
Peace. And Z will go grab some food and booze for Naomi. He specifically brings sweets because he's only ever seen Naomi eat sweets for the most part. Meat and sweets. There is no in between.
That is not false. That is a true statement.
Grabbing a
All
bottle
right.
on my way out to take to my room.
So, Z, you hear from Smiley that Naomi's hitting up the blacksmith, and you wander that way. So back at the blacksmith, Masamune lays down the reforged blade, now super cooled, and lets it sit there on his workbench. He seems satisfied. Good. If we let that sit overnight, that will be a frightening weapon. The blade in front of him is a Nodachi that is incredible in size. Something that only somebody absolutely gigantic could possibly wield comfortably. He runs his hand along the flat end of the blade, and he nods, satisfied. There. The pursuer's Nodachi is reforged.
I heard something.
Wrath got a boner. Everyone in the like you just see a wall of the palace just explode outward.
What? My spidey senses are tingling.
He turns his attention to Naomi. Well, little Kitsune, I cannot say I know what you have planned for our humble little village, but I can only say that I am looking forward to it.
Sorry, what?
I said the weapon is reforged, and I no longer need you to draw runes for me. If you should wish to retire, then now would be the time.
No, I have something left to do to it when you're done.
I should like it to set for at least 6 hours.
That's really nice, and I will take it into consideration, she says as she begins digging through her bag for a small wooden box.
Very well. He kind of grumbles to himself, and you hear the front door open as Z walks in. Masamune turns to Naomi. Hide your ears.
No, it's
Okay.
fine.
Naomi!
Oh, it's
He's
just
Naomi, are you in here?
Yep. And she doesn't stop what she's doing. She takes out a little, it looks to be a soft ball and powder from the box, and begins to start batting down the blade while chanting stuff in Crescent.
Sure. Ah, so you are still here. Yeah, I figured. Brought you some food and
shut
some booze.
up, Masamune says.
Naomi does not pay attention as she continues the ritual, and as she's doing this, despite the fact that there's like the forge and kiln and a bunch of gross sweat and everything, the smithy would start to smell like a warm summer rain.
Masamune is staring intently.
She finishes, she does a little bow and plants her head against the blade. And she wipes the powder off her head, and she starts walking over to Z and grabs the food without answering.
Do you grab the booze?
No.
Masamune
doesn't
does,
drink.
though.
As did Masamune.
Yeah, Masamune just
Z
grabs
shrugs.
it without asking and starts drinking, and gives you a very solid look.
Check it out. Pretty cool.
Is this what you've been doing all day?
Mm.
Holy shit!
I feel sorry for whoever's on the receiving end of this blade.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like half the country, I imagine.
Oh, is this a gift from Mr. Korgath?
It is a gift from Mr. Korgath. I picked up all of his broken sword and had it reforged with a little bit of my own attitude put into it.
I mean, that That's so sweet. He's gonna love it. You know he loves killing people.
I know.
He's gonna be so happy. You know what? His mood just hasn't been the same ever since he lost his sword.
Well, it's not going to be exactly the same, and he's probably going to have to get used to using it. But who knows? Maybe after tuning himself for a bit, it'll actually be worthwhile to him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll love it. It's big. It's got a big edge.
As a matter of fact, did you know that most of the time swords like these aren't made anymore because they're kind of just ridiculous? But I imagine he can get some use out of it.
Let's be real. I think being over the top isn't going to be a problem for Mr. Korgath.
No. I don't think it's going to be a problem either.
Alright. You coming back to the palace, or am I going back solo?
No, I'm going to stay here.
Alright. We got some briefing thing in the morning. He kind of gives it like a shrug.
For what?
I don't know, the mustache fellow, I've already forgotten his name, wants us to go to some place called Ono and investigate. And Z does, in fact, the air brackets, the air quotes. Mr. Korgath already thinks this is going to be another Bavol, and I'm not too keen on that, so if they tell us to go investigate, then we will look around and nothing else. And if we see anything, we will... He looks to the blacksmith. Tell the truth to the authorities, because that is what people do.
Masamune just gives a very ambiguous laugh.
I'll leave you here with your friend. Enjoy the grub, enjoy the booze. I'm gonna go to bed. And Z will hop out. We'll walk out through the door. And then you hear the tick, 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 tick on the roof.
I still don't know what that guy is.
Huh. He is Oni. I could feel it when he walked in.
It's probably just that stupid mask he's carrying around.
I saw that too.
No,
Goodness.
legitimately, he's probably cursed us all. I can't believe it. But I guess
Yeah,
we'll deal with it.
I'm glad to see Tenzin finally got rid of that thing.
He rolls 1d100 going home, rolls a 1, falls into a ditch and dies. Never seen again.
And Naomi tips her head down with the yada yada does it.
You just throw salt out the door. Bad luck out. Be gone, Oni.
Well, if your intention is to stay up with me all night, I have no objections. I'm going to be staring at this blade.
You're alright, you know?
I do what I can.
And I guess they both silently sit there staring at the sword for the rest of the night.
Pretty much. Alright, so Ral back on the boat with Mr. Birdsong. Let me find a boat. Ship deck, sure. Yeah, that works. Alright. Now all these people aren't here.
Dead.
Yep.
Good. No big surprise.
I killed them.
So Jacko kind of breathes a really heavy sigh and rubs his head around his third eye. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's one thing to be socially awkward in your native language. It's completely different to be socially awkward in your second language. What did you want to talk about?
Ral takes a very large drag off of his pipe and exhales for almost an entire minute. We are both as very, very scientific people. We're not very good in crowds.
Yeah, that is how I'm described.
Now, to the alchemy room.
He eagerly follows you.
Growl will, from bottom cabinets, pull out the Modron machinery.
This thing, I haven't gotten to take a good look at it. In fact, it kind of slipped my mind over the whole month. Yes. So this was in the lab that you found in Bavol, yes?
Yes, it's what was occupying it that a little bit more interesting.
He, perks his ears up. What did you see down there?
Things I had never hoped to see again. Ral hands him both his own notebook and the notebook that his father wrote for him. I imagine you read very quickly.
The second book kind of floats up in front of his head, and he closes both of his normal eyes, but his third eye kind of focuses intently on the book, and the pages just kind of scroll by. The eye kind of frantically moves within his forehead as he seems to take everything in. And once he's done, he kind of stands there in silence. Damn. I should have known Cecil wasn't acting alone.
It's rather interesting.
Yes. It seems like you called him your father, yes? Joffrey?
It was more what he called himself.
It seems like he was into the same kind of thing that Cecil was doing. Something I had been researching deeply after the others took Cecil in. It's long been suspected that with our ability to fight reality as we can using the arcane, inevitably there are going to be those who want to fight the reality of death to overcome it through whatever means.
Earl nods and motions towards the Modron. One of them nearly succeeded.
Yes, you said he put his consciousness into this Motron?
Earl nods. He said his memory was fragmented, like pieces of him weren't there, but he was talking. He remembered me.
Well, it's the same thing we found from Cecil's notes. You can use machines to do the job, but there's never enough space for something as complex as a consciousness. Nothing that can completely perfectly encapsulate it. And so whatever comes out of whatever you put in the machine, it's just a copy, a facsimile, a mockery of whatever you put in. It's not the real thing. Joffrey talks about it here. They tried it several times with other people, distilling their being, their essence, and turning it into a mathematical equation that can be represented and putting it inside of a machine. But whatever they got out of it wasn't what they were expecting. Holes, fragments, and bits between the bits, as Joffrey would say.
Yes. Again, I suppose they've been getting a lot of what they didn't expect.
Such is the nature when you go and start your own labs up, because the ethics of Sintra will not let you. Obviously, this kind of research is banned anywhere inside of my university and anywhere inside the realm of Sintra. That's why Cecil did what he did. That's why some of the less scrupulous, magic-inclined wizards find their way to Bavol instead of Sintra. But the problem of ethics, that's far beyond us at this point, because clearly people are looking into this, and clearly people are making progress. So, we're leaving the realm of evidence and moving to the realm of conjecture. Dangerous realm, Jaco says. So, if it's a foregone conclusion that with machines you cannot perfectly emulate a consciousness, what is there then? What is left?
Numbers, hard facts.
Yes? Chaco exhales through his nose. No, you create the kind of vessel that could carry a whole entire consciousness. And if you can't do it with a machine, you have to do it with a person. And all three of his eyes fix on you, Rao.
That's what I figured.
There's a lot of notes here. They need space for memories. Memories take up 95% of the functions. But again, they run into problems emulating it with mathematical equations. No, they need a brain. They need an actual brain with space for memories that is set up to contain more memories.
One that can be accessed. One
Yeah.
that can be manipulated. One designed solely for the purpose. Ral opens the slot in his noggin
Jaco
to
nods
be
solemnly.
interfaced with.
Yes. Yes. Jaco gives another forlorn nod and an apologetic look. I'm sorry for what they did to you.
To be honest, I don't remember most of it. And as angry as I might be, in some ways, I'm thankful.
We all have our events that made us who we are. And there's every possibility that they anticipated you escaping. They anticipated you getting out and going into the world, seeing it.
I wonder if they even anticipated the other one.
Your friend, yes. I'm sorry to say, but she's only got a passing note here on this page. It's just a paragraph. It looks like she wasn't under Joffrey's purview, but under one Carl Frey.
Well, nods. Not exactly who I was referring to.
Huh.
He taps the side of his head.
Right. There's a lot of talk about Nag in here. I can only assume that's who N0 was.
Supposedly.
Oh, what a mess.
What a mess indeed.
So I must ask you, since Mr. Zarbosa, it would seem you've been specifically engineered to accept a dragon. Have any of them talked to you? In your dreams, that's when they would come.
I believe they have, and, well, jumbled. A few moments was within the presence of them. I attempted to do what I know to do with all magic. Absorb and understand. The cacophonous call of their voices was louder than I could ever really imagine anything being.
Let them talk to you. They may have things to say. You know, when we got to Bavol for the first time, we were convinced that all of the nobility was the same, that all of them were corrupt and power-hungry and money-hungry, and then Vanessa came along to prove us wrong. When we, 100 years ago, thought that all Fae were monsters that terrorized villages and took children in the night, it turns out that they were just hiding, and that not all of them were monsters. Nag had the green one in his head for a while, and he didn't get a chance to tell us what he had learned, but maybe not all the dragons are out to plot against us. And maybe they are.
Who knows?
Jocko looks out over the side of the boat for a while. You know, the official story of the Red War is that it was a crazed human took it upon himself to call himself the voice of Janus and lay siege to half a continent. Well,
Just like a crazed human took it upon himself to try and defy death.
maybe he wasn't so crazed after all. Maybe the dragons were talking to him too. Keep yourself, Mr. Zarbosa, but don't shut them out. They may have something important for you.
Who knows, they may have something important for us all.
Jocko rolls the Modron over in his hands, kind of turning his attention to the construction of it. And for scale's sake, I hope there aren't more of these waiting for us.
Knowing the people we're dealing with, you should be worried about more of me.
That makes Jocko go silent and cast his gaze out upon the moonlit waters. Alright. So Naomi is with Masamune for the night. Ral, it seems you're done on the ship here. Jacko seems lost in thought.
Yeah, as soon as he gets back to himself, Ral's just sit up for all too long, actually read his father's notebook for once.
So it goes over a great many details about experiments to... They're all code named, but you can work it out. Nag, you, shit, who was your...
Neri.
Neri, yeah, sorry. The paragraph about Neri, and then you kind of learn a lot about their progress and what they were doing. It seems their primary method of research was taking Fae and humans and trying to recreate them via symbolic means to varying stages of failure. And eventually it gets to the point where they cease using machines and discuss taking young, talented Fae off the streets for the purposes of their research. It's mum as to the details of each subject's origin, but you can kind of conclude that you were taken at some point.
Yep.
And as for Korgath, Smiley, and Z, you can go to your sweet ass fucking room or not. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm in my room snoozing.
Okay.
We'll head
My
back.
bed better not be fucking heated.
Your bed is not heated.
Stone cold.
Good. That's the way I like it in real life. That's the way I want it in game.
Just a block of ice underneath.
You damn right.
The Shishio-dushi that exists within the common area beats out a pleasant rhythm as the moon takes the sky and the frivolity of the night dies down.
I guess it's just the three of us tonight.
I guess.
Are we in the room together?
No, you all have there's 5 separate sleeping areas, but there's a big common room in the center that's like a courtyard.
They're like paper walls. I can talk to you.
Yeah, there's paper walls
Oh.
now.
Korgan has just walked through the wall into Z's room and has just sat down
You just
next to him.
walk through the wall.
Too late, man.
It's like the Simpsons go to Japan, like we just walk through the walls.
Yeah. Oh
Every
wait, was that
time.
a wall? I'm sorry.
So a Korgath-shaped hole is in Z's wall, but a assistant comes by and takes down the whole thing and replaces it.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that.
Whatever you please, sir.
I mean, okay. I don't want you to have to replace it anymore. Cool. Oops. They should really get some more durable walls around here.
Alright. Like, why paper?
Like, man, if I was sleepwalking, I'd tear this motherfucker up in a hurry.
Yeah, right. Z puts another kind of looks over to the poster covering a Z-shaped hole in it.
Alright, well, good night.
Good night, Mr. Korgath.
Walks back through the wall again.
Sister comes back
Shit.
and
Oh.
embraces it again.
Ah, moshi. And
I'll work on it. My bad. It's like it's like just paper.
Not even like baking paper. It's just like tissue paper.
Yeah.
Just.
Like I can see your outline.
Oh, cool. Does that mean we can like play shadow puppets and see like
No.
like on your and you just see like a bunny head, but on the other end Z is just some horrific
And maybe,
amalgamation.
maybe possibly there'll be a part where you bust through a paper wall and kill a dude, like an enemy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you can see
Hell
his
yeah.
outline. Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
good night, Mr. Smiley.
Good night.
I don't know where the other two are.
Naomi's staying at the blacksmith's for the night,
Weird, but okay.
and I don't know where Mr. Ral is, or my dad for that matter. Lulu, are you here?
Lulu.
No, she got
Kind
the
of-
princess wing, didn't she?
No, she's in with you guys. She's got her own sleeping quarters. You hear her voice ring out. Yes?
Oh, I was just wondering where you were. We didn't see you at the party.
I don't do parties well.
Oh. Well, have a good night, Miss Lulu.
Yes, this is nice.
Mm-hmm. Going to
She's
bed.
in there like getting a foot massage.
Has like an entire plate of sweets next to her. Very quaint. Hair's done up.
Pretty much,
Face
yes. You can't
Uh.
quite tell all the details, but Lulu's getting along just fine with these digs.
I will, as usual, spend another 2 hours studying Crescent in my own time before finally heading to sleep.
I'm out. I'm done, Zos. I'm going to bed.
We're way past time for this to end. So, I think that this is where we shall call it for the night. And next game is going to be Wednesday, August 14th. I'll put that in the next game
Okay.
schedule.
TY?
And yeah, thank you guys for the great session. Next session, I'm hoping we can go out and do some, D&D fight the Kappas thing.
Nope, I declined that. I declined that optional quest. Sorry.
Like just reaches into Z's quest log and just hits that button like, oh no, I gotta walk back to the quest giver and oh, he's on a set path during the day, so you gotta like wait for him.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you guys. There's plenty of stuff to do. There's the Raijin Ember, which he told you to go get. There's the Kappas. There's the Geisha Dancer. And then, of course, Mr. Mustache has stuff he wants you to do. So there's no want for adventurers, and probably some fighting. Definitely some fighting, I think.
Yeah. How do we want to do this, by the way? Do we want to like cut through to the farms first, then maybe head up to the Raijin Mountains, get that ember, then go to Ono and like do a circle?
I don't
Like a
know. We can
kinda
talk
loopy-
about it in the morning because I'm going to bed.
Like just, we go like from here, the Rooten Valley. I guess we gotta go to the Dorgan Plain to Raijin, and then we cross to Ono. We come back down. And it's like, I guess it could also be like, make it as simple as possible. So it's more like, so we come here, and then it's like over
Oh my
here.
gosh.
Yeah.
This kind of
Like,
feels
yeah.
like a morning conversation for the party.
You go to this tower.
There is
and
that tower
whatever's
there.
in that,
It's definitely a
and then you go to the
tower.
bridge,
It's
and I guarantee that there's something to kill under it.
absolutely.
You go to this tower, steal all this stuff.
Yeah.
You go back this way.
I mean, there's stuff on the map, and it's not marked, and I mean, like, you gotta go there.
But
Bet
the
you there's
marked
something
places
right
on the
here,
map
too.
are where the things have been planned.
No.
Yeah, fuck
This is
those
the
things.
DM who has a
Not doing
lot of shit marked on his world map that has nothing actually there.
I'm gonna, You just know that once we get to these bridges, there's gonna be like a monk with a big straw-like mask on that we're gonna have to fight.
Pull a giant centipede out of her head and kill her.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
She's gonna have a big Nagita. Just fucking take massive swipes at us and like, oh, cool. No, this is okay. This is fine.
I should have started naming all my signature moves like Baiken.
Why haven't you yet? I mean, there's a new GG game coming out.
Yo, oh my god, it looks gorgeous.
No Baiken, no buy.
Yeah,
Then
this is basically me. I'm sorry, I don't think you understand this. This is the waifu fighting game, and if she's not in it, then I really don't want to buy it.